Sup nerds, welcome to the Omni4Game podcast, episode 50. I am Sean, I'm joined with Chris and Brandon as always.
Alright guys, this week's Omni4Game recap. We go over our locals as always. We hit some top list, post-ban list to see what's doing. We go over our reveals from like a month, a lot of reveals for us. And then a whole lot of comment questions because ban list discussion was good. So if you guys like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode.
Alright, first topic, a locals recap.
I'll go first. I got fifth. I was playing Magna Armor because I hadn't really had a chance to play around with it yet. So I was like, why not? I'll try it. Long story short, it feels really bad having to Digivolve into Magnamon for the entire 5 memory and not being able to trigger its effect consistently. I don't know how anybody consistently wins with that deck.
Same.
Like, either you're like super lucky or you just see the pieces that you need to really quick.
Yeah, I think that's why Flame Dramon was such a good benefit to that deck specifically. Because he just lets you trigger your effect a little more consistently. Like, you don't want to Evo on top of him. You just want to trigger his when attacking effect.
Yeah, it sucks that like you don't even really have the option of evoing on top of him unless you see your one of Awaken. Yeah. Assuming you're playing it, I don't think I would even bother playing it in that version.
Yeah. So yeah, just so y'all know, I don't have any Flame Dramons, and so that was one thing. So
I think there are 0 Flame Dramons at our locals.
Yeah. So I don't have any of the Flame Dramons, so before the comment section to text me, oh, that's why you're not playing the Flame Dramons. Even with the Flame Dramons, I don't think it would have been all that different. Maybe. I know, another hot take. Anyways, round 1, I played against Will, who was playing Omnimon. Yeah, once he just kind of establishes the option card and like has a body on the board, I'm pretty much just stuck. He can pretty much just Omnimon me at will. Or, whatever. Round 2, I played against a new guy to our locals. He was playing Red Hybrid. But it wasn't like a very competitive Red Hybrid. He's still fairly new to the game in general. Not like someone who's played Digimon and then came to our locals. This guy's just like his first week here with an actual deck. And it wasn't even like top tier Red Hybrid. It was just like
he's still playing basically like BT17-ish style Red Hybrid with the Emperors.
He's effectively playing like a starter deck version of Emperor Red Hybrid.
Yeah, because what I did is I went through our bulk and I pulled out a playset of basically every Red Hybrid card.
That explains his deck list. I was curious.
Yeah, I gave him all the Flame Mons, all the Agunis, all the Burnings, all the Aldas, and I only had 3 extra Emperors of BT12 and then 1 extra of the BT7, and then a playset of every Takuya, excluding BT17, because I didn't even have a secondary playset. I only have my playset. I basically gave him everything. I gave him Atomic Infernos, like everything.
That 4-cost option that's really bad for some reason.
Oh, Pyro Dragon. Just because I know like newer players like that are gonna see a card like that and want to play it. And I was correct. He put it in his deck. I need to tell him the card's bad.
He'd be better
I did go out of my way to tell him like, hey, this Aldamon's bad. Don't play it.
Don't listen to Brandon. He didn't give him this stuff. They traded for this stuff.
Yeah, that is. You got an Altard Omnimon for that Red Hybrid deck.
I fully walked in intending to just hand him the deck, and then he goes, "Here, man," and handed me the Altar Omnimon. He goes, "Because I know you're actually playing that deck," and I was like,
"Oh, I didn't realize that wasn't a pre-set up transaction. I thought you traded it for him or traded it for them."
I straight up was just about to just give him the deck because I want more people at our locals.
Same.
And he seems really fair.
Yeah, okay, it's reasonable now. I thought you like established that I'll trade you at Hybrid.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Okay.
I did actually look up the value because I was very curious. Like, did I just like rip them off or something like that?
It's probably surprisingly close.
It was like a $40 deck core because I gave him a full playset of every Tamer and 4 of the level 6s.
Yeah.
Like Some of the tamers actually are $2 a piece, which of course builds up.
Yeah.
But some of it's just like chump change.
Yeah.
I also give him enough Koros and Yokos so he could
do whichever he preferred.
Yeah. Which I told him, like, Koromon is preferred because of its consistency to draw.
Yeah.
But Yokomon is a nice secondary. Or, if you want to do it, make it your primary. Like, I didn't want to tell him how to build his deck, of course. That just seems a little rude. So I kind of just gave him the options to build it how he saw fit.
I mean, I would have probably told him how to build his deck, but
I'd say you wait a couple weeks to let him get a feel for the game, and then you sit him down and say, all right, this is how you should probably build this to get rid of some of your inconsistency problems. I also think I need to find some copies of Gravity Crush because that card is so good.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any spares, so
I guess that's fair because you'd want them to get like a good concept of like how gameplay works and stuff before you can really have a conversation with them.
He wasn't even used to drawing when he Digivolved yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to remind him basicly every time he evoed in round one. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Dude, everyone had to go through it. Like anyone who has ever played any other card game has to rewire their brain to draw when you take actions."
Yeah. So shout out to him because I definitely was not expecting to get that Omnimon off of him because I thought he was really happy to have it because like it was one of his Altarts pulled in the box he bought.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, dude, that card's sick." And then he just handed it to me. He goes, "Here you go. Thanks for the deck." And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. So then, round 3, I played against Brandon, who was playing Blue Hybrid. Was it 2-1 or 2-0, Brandon?
It was 2-1.
Okay. I just remember there was one moment last night where he goes, "Well, I guess I've got to rip it," and then Digivolved into Lobomon and ripped the Ancient, and I think I just kind of
went like this and went.
Yeah, so
there it was,
real heart of the cards moment. That felt great. So I ended up losing that match. Nothing really outside of that I think really happened. Round 4 I played against Caleb, who was playing Kentaros Mon because he really wants his deck to work. This poor guy, and he couldn't have gotten paired up with anyone worse because he literally needs to trash his security to actually trigger his effects with like barrier and stuff.
Please tell the story.
And I hadn't opened any better all night until I played against Caleb.
I remember you said that game 1. I heard you say that.
Like I got Magna out so quick. It's also partially his fault though. Like I opened up the good Vmon that like you can reduce. Yeah, so I think I went first. Maybe did I go first? I can't remember. Anyways, just know I promoted that and I was at 4 memory because he Digivolved and then like played like a Kari or something. And just now I like promoted and then win to Magna and then straight into Magna X and anyways, I established him real quick. And it was just game 1 was over from there. Jover, he couldn't do anything. Game 2, he has the he has Repamon. No, he has like 2 Digimon on the board. One of them being Repamon.
Mm-hmm.
And I block with the Magnamon.
I think he swung with the Matamamon first, and you block.
Yeah. So I block, and then he swings with. He swings with the Repamon, activates effect, trashes a security. And I just turn my Magnamon sideways, or back up, and then turn it sideways again, and he goes, "Wait, how'd you do that?" I go, wait. I was like, "You just trashed your security." And he just like double face palmed his head. He's just like, "Oh my god!" Like realizing his mistake, it was just so funny. He unfortunately did not have a chance at all. He even was like safe with the Matamamon because I couldn't swing with my Magnamon because it was my only body. But I had a Vmon and I just promoted it and I swung at his security, and then my Magnamon was unaffected by it. And he looks at Sean. And he goes, "Sean, if his effect activated, is he unaffected by Matamamon's effect?" And Sean's like, "Yes." And he's just like, sticks his hand out. I'm like, you good game. It was really funny. Poor Caleb, man.
Yeah.
He really wants the deck to work so badly. I don't blame him, like, having a deck that you really want to play and you really want to make it work, but it just doesn't.
Yeah, that's...
Poor guy.
That deck technically has support, but it's nowhere close to being competitive, even at a locals level, unfortunately.
So I ended up going X2 and getting 5th, so... I think Brandon's next. He got 3rd.
Yeah, I got 3rd last night. My tournament started off with having to play against Caleb, and that deck's kind of annoying to play against because the Ancient Garu, of course, rips a security to their hand, and a lot of his effects, like he's playing the Kari, where if a card is removed from security, I think by an effect specifically, you can tap it to give negative security check to something. So as you can imagine, one of my best cards in the deck were basically all but requires me to do that. So it was actually extraordinarily difficult to lethal him. I was never in threat of being lethaled, but it was a grind just to get to his security and finish the game.
Yeah.
Because of course he's like running the Kentaro Smons and stuff like that, and like anytime like Odin's Breath or something would come up, I'm just sitting here like, oh brother, this guy stinks. But I did get that matchup 2-0. I never felt like I was fully under pressure. It was just an obstacle, if that makes sense. And then the next round I played against Ben. This is where Brandon started spiraling. I did not have a particularly healthy night last night. I've already apologized to Sean and Chris before the pod started, except for Chris. Screw Chris. He doesn't deserve it.
You didn't have to apologize to me. It didn't bother me none.
Yeah.
It was actually a very nice match because you just stopped talking and I stopped. It was very quiet. We were just pointing at each other's cards and I just knew. I was like, okay. I was like, you would like play the BT17 Garu.
And just point to the cards.
Yeah, and just be like...
Yeah. But, yeah, so Ben accidentally...
Not BT15 Garu, Ancient Garu. You would just point and be like this, and I'm like, I already know. I said BT15 Garu.
Oh, yeah, no, Ancient Garu.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ancient. He would like point to that, he's like...
He would be playing Melga.
Yeah, he would just point and then point at security. I'm like... Like, talking. I was like, this is nice.
Yeah. So Ben accidentally just threw me into a anger spiral that did not go away, despite my winning record. So game 1, he Digimon Emperors me, and it does cost me the game because my opening hand was not good. I remember I went raising analog, and I revealed 3 option cards off the analog, and I was like, are you serious? So I don't have any of my 2-cost options now, basically. They're just out of the game. And I don't have my 1 Lament to do that BS combo with your analogs where you bring your Ancient back out. So, feels bad. Yeah, so, that game was just over. But him using that analog also screwed me because I wasn't really able to... Or not analog. Emperor. I wasn't able to play through it. Because the build I'm running... it kind of used Promo Lobo as its lynch.
Yeah.
So it felt really bad. And in between games, I was like, man, that really sucked. How many of those do you play? 3? He goes, oh, I only play 2. I'm like, man, dang, he only plays 2 and he saw it first turn. That's crazy. So then he starts game 2 and I go in the raising into 4-cost Tamer. So he has 4 memory. And when I tell you, yes.
I'm not gonna lie, when I played against you, I kept a hand because it just had an Emperor in it.
Yeah. You have to versus that deck.
Yeah. You have to.
I would argue that it might be correct just to mull for Emperor.
Yeah. So I thought I was in a really good spot. And then Ben, he doesn't mean this. It's not malicious. But when he said, oh, this hand's not that great. And I'm like, oh, cool, I might have a chance to bounce back. And then he literally just goes double Digimon Emperor, and I went, are you serious? Because Because now I'm just locked out of my breeding phase, or my breeding area for the rest of the game unless I want to pass turn every time I promote. I can't play. Like, I have to rely on other things now in order to do what I need to do, and it's just not... Because, again, I'm focusing on the promo Lobo. Like, that's my main Wombo combo with the Analog Youth and being able to, like, you know... So, I was tilted. I was pissed. Because he then proceeded to, like, the next turn he played, he basically proceeded to, like, Wombo combo me. Yeah. And, like, he ended his board with, like, 3 or 4 bodies on the board. And it's, like, turn 2, and I'm like... Thought your hand wasn't playable. What's going on here?
What he meant was... Because he told me what was in his hand. It was... If something didn't happen... I don't know how to say this.
If A doesn't occur, then B is just pooped on.
Yeah.
Like, he's pooped on for the rest
of the game. If A doesn't happen, then his hand becomes unplayable.
But when A happened...
His hand popped off. Yeah.
His hand popped off. And I was just like... Yeah, so I was full tilt. Again, I don't blame Ben, because that's just how he talks, that's how he is. But I was carrying a chip on my shoulder for the rest of the night. A very, very large chip. Because I immediately went to the match against Chris, and the game he took off me, he had 3 Digimon Emperors on the board. All 3 of them. And I was just like, cool, can't play the game.
I draw a lot of cards.
Yeah, I can try, but...
Still don't see what you need.
Yeah. I do manage stealing that, like we talked about, because I did literally Protag moment the Ancient. I literally went Promo Lobo, Ancient, cool. Because I think I had hard played a level 3, and it managed to stick on the field for a turn. I don't think you had the Magna to remove it, so I didn't actually have to promote.
Magna can't remove bodies.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the...
Magnamon.
The starter.
Yeah, Magnamon. That's like the best one.
Yeah. I will specify Magna X. Yeah, I'm talking about Magna X. Then the final round against Sean. This is probably where my tilt became a little overbearing on the table because I was so pissed.
Sean starts the game, he plays a Digimon Emperor.
Yeah. So Sean kind of played into it, and, you know, we're all friends, so he was, like, we were kind of like, he was poking at me and stuff, and I just wasn't in the mood, and I killed the vibe of the whole table, and because of that, like, it was a really awkward table situation, and Sean ended up, like, kind of misplaying, because it was just a bad headspace to be in. And it cost him the game. So again, I apologize for that. I will definitely try to be better about my tilt. But Sean should have beaten me 2-0.
Yeah.
Like, he had lethal established and just...
I literally swung in the wrong order.
Yeah. So, again, right hand up, that's on me. You know, this, that, and the third.
My Tim's Kakarot.
The Tims.
Not my butters.
Facts.
Is it my turn?
I was just trying to cop me a bacon, egg, and cheese.
So I
ketchup roll.
I beat Sean when I realistically should not have.
Yeah, I punted lethal game 2, and then I just didn't open well game 3.
Yeah, game 3 you did not see Digimon Emperor, and that was
correct.
Bad. So your field is open, and I'm coming for your cheeks.
Yeah, basically. So I played Yellow Vaccine last night. I played... What is that new guy's name? I'm so bad with names.
He's also called Josh. I think he might go by Joshua, but I haven't asked.
Okay. I played against Josh, the new guy at our locals. This was his first week playing. So basically I was having to, like, tell him how, like, stuff worked, like you can't swing with that because you just played it and stuff like that. Like I was just having to explain the game to him, which I don't mind doing.
Think you might have been the perfect person to be his first opponent because you are our judge.
Yeah.
Well, he does. I think he has played other card games because he, like, once Sean was like, "Hey, you can't attack with that because you just played it." He was like, I think because he played Magic.
He played Magic. So like I was able to say stuff to where like he immediately understood what I was saying, because I started saying summoning sickness after he mentioned Magic. Which we still don't have a word for why you can't swing. You just can't. I wish we had a word so we didn't have to call it summoning sickness. But
imagine we turn that into a keyword and give it to like somebody like Black, where it's like, oh, if you promote, you have summoning sickness.
That would actually be pretty sick. That's a good idea for Black, and it would make sense in Black. But basically, our match was me just explaining how his deck worked. I don't think it's a good matchup versus my deck. In fact, I think it's probably one of the worst matchups he possibly could have played against. But basically, it was just a learning experience for him. I was just telling him how the game works and stuff, reminding him to draw, explaining that literally everyone always misses draws when they first start playing. It takes a while for it to be drilled into your head. Like people
sometimes we do now too.
Yeah, I told him people still occasionally forget to draw. Like it happens. If you get distracted, you can forget to draw for Evo. It still happens to people.
Yeah, Robbie, he'll still end up doing it sometimes. I have to stop him and be like, you didn't draw.
Everyone does. Like Robbie does it, Will does it. I think I've seen both of you guys do it in videos before. I'm sure I've done it.
Chris, I remember the one time he did it that always sticks to my mind is when he digivolved into his Machine Dramon level 5 just so he could blow up one of my tamers and just didn't draw for Evo because he was so excited to blow up my tamer.
Oh yeah, that's what happens is if you get distracted after you're used to it. But I 2-0'd him very easily. The duration of the match was basically just me explaining how his cards worked and stuff. Round 2, I played against Will playing Omnimon. That is also a very bad matchup for him. I am playing Emperor, and that hurts that matchup really, really bad. He didn't open up super awesome. I opened up pretty nutty both games, won very easily. He scooped when he was at 4 security game 1 because of how bad it looked on my end of the field. Round 3, I played against Ben, also playing Yellow Vaccine. We were playing the Mirror. I told Ben last night when we were leaving that I just high rolled in both games. He's like, you didn't high roll, you're just playing the deck. And I was like, man, I feel like I just drew better than you. Like I had the perfect cards to answer what you were doing. I 2-0'd Ben in like 15 minutes, and we played a second match. Immediately he was like, run it back, and I was like, okay. Isn't
that when you had a Digimon Emperor and he forgot and he promoted?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Game 1 I opened up like super nutty. Game 2 I opened up like my opening hand was like okay. But I ended up like drawing into good cards as the game went on. But he lost game 2 on the spot when he forgot that I had a Digimon Emperor on the field and he promoted a rookie. Because I deliberately choked him to 1 to keep him from promoting to have an extra body. And he immediately promoted after drawing for turn and started shuffling his hand. And I was like, oh, he forgot. I just moved the memory gauge over. And he looked up and he was like, oh yeah. And I was like, you forgot. And I was like, if you want, you can take that back. Like, I'll allow takesy backsy there. And he's like, nope. And I was like, okay.
Sometimes
Ben takes it, dude. Ben refuse. Like, I have to try to convince him when we're playtesting. Like, I get not wanting to take it back in a tournament, like even locals, but I have to like convince him to take it back when we're playtesting sometimes.
I don't mind if my opponent does it sometimes, but like myself, I don't like taking stuff back like that. Not just because we're in a tournament, but like it's one of the only ways for me to learn from that mistake, so I can have that experience. Like if I'm in the similar situation where I can be like, okay, this happened last time you tried to do this. I was like, don't make that same mistake. That's just how I like to try and learn and do things.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too.
I wish Ben would have done a takesy backsy the other week when he 3-0'd me.
Oh yeah, when he accepted your resignation after game 2. Like,
don't scoop!
Please don't do this to me again, game 3.
You finna get this whooping!
I literally considered just telling him as soon as we started the game, alright, you got it.
Yeah, you got it, dude.
But I was like, nah, I need practice with the deck. We'll play.
Ben would have still insisted on playing it out.
Yeah, I know. I was this close.
Because he still wants to practice. Like, he wanted to practice the combos because he still does stuff incorrectly sometimes.
It's one of the reasons I don't scoop even if he goes for the Tamagotchi combo.
Yeah,
just because I want A, the content. You gotta let people see what the full combo is.
Yeah.
And B, he needs to be used to doing it.
Yeah. Because sometimes when when we got to the point where we were testing that matchup like over and over, as soon as he did it, I would just click on Project Drazel. I would just click the like going first or going second button, or I would just click surrender and leave the match. Because I'm like, I don't need to see this. Thank you. You got it, dude. But yeah, he lost the game on the spot from that point. He passed turn. I had a memory setter. I promoted and cleared his board, and he never recovered from that point. I did open up less well in our extra match and lost game 1, but I was probably going to win game 2, and then turns were called for the actual round. Round 3 I played against Brandon playing Blue Hybrid. I won game 1 very easily. Digimon Emperor completely shut him out of the game. And then round 2, or game 2, I didn't tell you this at the time, but I kept my hand. I didn't have Digimon Emperor. I went second. I evoed into Patamon and Raising and drew the Emperor off the Patamon, and then played it.
You just hold it in your hand.
Pass turn. Huh?
Were you just like, oh, so you weren't holding it in hand, you just went...
Yes, that's what happened.
That's...
yeah, I drew it off the Evo.
I think against Chris, I think I Ancient Garud, ripped a card to his hand, and he told me later that was Emperor.
It was Emperor, yeah.
Yeah, I had an Emperor to my hand.
But I punted lethal, because I was distracted. I had game on board, but I swung in an order to where my aces could die to pass turn, but there was a way for me to safely swing to where they couldn't possibly die. And I passed turn. He established a board that I couldn't answer on my turn, and then he just killed me on the following turn. And then game 3, I drew probably it was like the worst I'd drawn in the tournament all night, and I wasn't able to establish anything quick enough because of how aggressive that deck is. Ended up coming in second place due to tiebreakers. Ben came in first.
Yeah, I think Ben, his first place was kind of established as soon as you lost that game. I mean, obviously, but because you had played against Robbie in the first round, and his tiebreakers were most likely.
Well,
I also thought you had a chance of coming in first because weren't you X1?
Yeah, but not Robbie. Josh.
Josh, yeah. I actually, even though you said Robbie, I immediately knew who you were talking about and didn't even register that you said his name incorrectly.
Yeah, that's my bad. Thank you, Chris. I think my tiebreakers were a little worse because a lot of my games, with the exception of against Caleb, were X1s or 1X.
Oh, okay.
So my tiebreakers were worse. I think you almost always 2-0'd people, right?
The only games I dropped all night were the 2 games I dropped versus you.
Yeah. So that would make more sense for you to get above me, obviously.
Well, after I lost, I just assumed I wasn't getting even top 2.
I still think that's just so dumb. Such a dumb thing with Bandai with their system, where it doesn't make sense how you beat Ben, but because you lost in the final round, he got first.
I think it's because I played against Josh and he didn't. I think that's actually.
I know. That's what I'm saying, but that shouldn't be punishing to you.
Yeah.
Whoever wins should have priority, not whoever's percentages were better.
Yeah, I feel like there should be like head-to-head tiebreakers in the system somehow. I see what you're saying.
Because you beat Ben, even though your opponent's win percentage is less, but like let's say you guys didn't play, then it would be like whoever's win percentage is better.
Yeah,
like,
but if it had the same record, then yeah.
Yeah, prioritize matchups, and then prioritize
head-to-heads. Yeah.
Yeah. But
like, cause
that's just me though.
I mean,
I think it would be weird if like you 2-0'd Ben.
Yeah, you did 2-0, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I'm saying like it's weird.
Yeah.
You 2-0 Ben. That's like you just cleared him, but then somehow he still gets above you just because the people he played prior were better than the people you played prior.
Yeah.
It's a weird system.
I like the idea of head-to-head tiebreakers. The only thing I'm curious about is if that's even possible when you get to the point where it's like 40 people or something. Like, when you get like the big numbers, because I don't know how that would actually work. But maybe there could be an additional thing.
It just sounds like we're trying to make it a little too complicated.
I mean, it's already kind of complicated. What's the problem of adding an additional like column that's like...
I think it would only really matter once you got to like the top 8. or like like you like top 16, top 8 or something like that. Do like all win percentage, obviously, in record, and then when you get to those like top final ones, and then they're placing, you'd be like, okay, the system would be like, okay, did these two play each other? All right, who won? And be like, okay, that guy won, that guy goes higher, and just do it like that or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be funny if like that is actually cooked into one of those percentages and we just don't know it.
Yeah, we just don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
what's that guy's name who's always commenting rulings?
Damien.
Damien, let us know. You probably know. You know everything, jeez.
Yeah. Very knowledgeable.
Yeah, very much knowledgeable. Very Damien. All right. Top 16. I don't even know why I'm typing this. I have to take.
Yeah, we only got one event you want to look at?
Well, I do, but I have to take that off the screen, so like there's no reason for me to type out the topic. Top 16 deck list. We have one tournament to go over that is post ban list. We all agreed that it doesn't really make sense to go over pre-ban list deck lists because they're pointless. It's like looking at last format basically. So we had Eagle's Nest August 26 Winnabox. This was on August 26, but he did have the new ban list in effect for it. So let's just go over these. So it was 5 rounds, 38 players, and this is the top 8. So we have Ancient Garu at 3/1/1 with Blue Mask. Okay, so this is the version that you hard brick with, Chris.
Yeah.
The hacker judge and everything, yeah. Did we establish this is post-ban list?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is 100%.
He's playing the new. He's playing the new. Not Kendo. Jesus. Beowulf. I just don't like that card.
He, like warps.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's from trash.
Yeah,
they could have made it infinitely worse by making it from a hand.
Yeah, so it's like a late game card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Inheritable's pretty cool, I guess. Kind of helping you with your Ancient. So if you go into him and then go into Ancient, and your opponent doesn't want to out it because you're just going to get all your floating stuff back. Like, I guess it helps you trigger that Ancient when you swing, assuming they have a body on the board.
Yeah. I almost said something about One Hammer Spark and then I remembered.
Don't particularly like it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also he's playing 2 of it. I just realized that.
Mm-hmm.
How many of the other Bayo is there?
2. He's playing a lot of 5s. 2 Beowulfs, 1 Jet, and then 2 of the new Beowulfs. And he's like playing 3 Ancients.
Yeah. What?
That's wild. This guy high rolled all night.
I guess you can recycle it pretty easily with your 2-cost option.
No,
so
I don't care. That's your boss monster. You play 4.
He's only playing one of this option.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
His recycle is paladin moding it to the bottom of his deck. Know. Am I missing something?
Nah, he just high rolled.
Maybe it's because he's playing red base and you're already basically just playing a rookie rush strat. Like, maybe he doesn't feel like he needs it, and he cut it for, like, something else?
Stop trying to make justifications for not playing 4 of your best card.
I figured it out, dude. He only has 3.
Oh, okay.
Open and check Case Johnson.
Oh, man. I don't have another Ancient. What should I run? Hammer Spark's at 0 or 1 now. Just play 1 Hammer Spark.
Yeah.
Alright.
Boom. Got it.
It's very interesting. Then we have Ancient Greymon with Supreme spelled Supreme.
This only topped because there weren't no decks in this tournament.
Say that one more time. It was super choppy.
Oh, I said this only topped because there were no dexes in the tournament.
Oh yeah, true. This deck loses really hard to decks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's red hybrid.
Yep. This is actually the first time I've seen one of these lists.
It's going to be pretty close to how I built it.
Yeah, super aggro, rookie rush strat.
I feel like this is one of those decks where it's like most of the lists look exactly the same. It's like their Mirage decks where it's like everyone just plays like 1 to 4 cards differently because they just like those cards.
Basically, yeah. It's like once you've seen one list, you've seen all of them. Besides, like,
the only thing I would question is the Mem Boost over Grab Crush. But I don't know how. I haven't played this variant yet, so I wonder if you just absolutely want to see, like, your promo Aguni, your Ancient, so you don't care about bot decking your Tamers.
I mean, I guess this makes sense because you do need to see the promo Aguni in order to do like your primary combo. I guess this thing also warps into it. So
yeah. How many of the old Ancients is he playing? Only
2.
I was considering doing 3 and 3 because the old Ancient is just like a blowout on top of your warp play.
Yeah, like and you also don't have to blow anything up. He's just like, hey, I have this many checks. Which is definitely better into the Dex matchup, which is like your worst matchup.
Yeah. I mean, his recycling isn't as good, obviously.
Yeah, that's
He only just plays the level 4 or lower out.
That's a good point. I forget how broken the recycling effect is.
Yeah.
Probably should...
It's literally...
Power creep.
I was going to say, the new Ancient cards are literally just the SpongeBob meme. They were like, want to see me do it again? After, like, the on-deletion.
Literally. I won't be surprised if both of them see the ban list at some point in the future just because of how insane the memory cheating you get out of the recycle effect. Because the playing the Tamer and the recycling a piece, like the Tamer play is just really good.
It's so crazy how it's a 3 memory play to go into it. Obviously, you're paying, like, the memory with your new cards, BT17 stuff. But just to see it, 2 memory actually, because you're swinging with the level 4, and then you get back a level 4, and you get to play it, or you get to recycle a Tamer and then play a Tamer. Like the memory exchange for that is absolutely incredible.
In addition to the tempo gain, it's just insane tempo advantage.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're actually going to see the list because if I remember correctly, again, I don't always look at Japan's formats, but I think people hard move on to the Magna and Emperor from the next set.
That's surprising.
Magna. Yeah, Magna, Garu, and Emperor Grey.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
Guys.
I guess it's possible if power creep catches up, but from my perspective, it seems pretty insane and like
pretty unfair.
Yeah, if they don't see the list and we don't have power creep for like all other colors to where they can keep up with that tempo, then they're just like you're just dead.
All right.
Yeah. We have 6th place Hyomin Omnimon. This list is actually redacted by Eagle because this person is cooking for the Dallas regional, so they did not want to leak their list, which is understandable.
If you're trying to be spicy.
Yeah. Then we have Ancient Garu Swanee. Okay. This is the red base. This is Brick City. Brick City.
Playing Lunamon.
Why though?
Probably to recycle your level 3s.
Oh, you know what it is? You stick the Lunamon and then you promote this.
And you just recycle it.
You just keep promoting it, yeah. That's his answer. He's like, I'll just play the same Ukomon several times. This guy's also playing one of New Beowulf.
Is he actually playing 4 Ancients?
Yes. He's also playing 2 of the option cards as opposed to just 1.
Man, I don't understand how people are cutting that. I mean, I guess in the red base, it's not super necessary, but...
Nah, I don't care. That card is so good. It basically just makes Ancient Garu a 4-cost play.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's playing
and you get to pick it up. You get to pick up any of the cards out of the trash. Like, what's not to love about that card?
I've noticed not everybody's using the Matt Lament combo either.
It's hard to fit it in this version. You kind of can only really play it effectively in the Bond version.
Yeah. I like the purple Matt because it allows the Lobo, to actually do it without the Kendo. But it's pretty much like playing just extra copies of Kendo.
Yeah, true.
Well, also, I like how it also kind of works as like an analog to help you keep turn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really like that combo.
That's a pretty sick combo. Then we have Happy Cat with Royal Knights.
And this is the list I was looking forward to.
How many
this is very, very similar to the last one, right? Except for he's not playing Shine Greymon Ace. He's also playing Pillowmon. Interesting. Love that. He's also not playing the Omnimon Ace.
Yeah, he's playing that Tamer.
Yeah, the Kari Tamer.
Is that a one-up?
This guy, yeah, he's playing. Yeah, it's a one-up. Yeah.
So what does he do exactly? I know we've been over it, but like I never see this.
Do you want me to read it or?
Okay. No, I can read it. I mean, yeah, I get it. Okay. I don't know. I mean, like, is it worth taking up a spot in your deck though? Like
that one Marcus?
Yes. Token Marcus.
Well, it's because nobody's playing playing Floodgates right now.
Yeah,
because they're just not expecting this.
I mean,
that and they just
cards behind the deck.
Yeah, the issue with the Floodgates is they kind of lose to the decks that they're in there for. Like, it's hard to keep them on the field.
Right.
I guess potentially for 7 Great Demon Lords, that's basically the only matchup you really like truly fear.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe that's why he's playing the Pillows. This is good though. This is good.
I was gonna say, if you're because that's the Kari that was stalling the game against me.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, if you're worried about like the hybrid decks just high rolling you, in this deck you could just play the black Floodgate rookie.
Oh, they can't ignore Evo conditions or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think Pillow probably just covers a more wide variety.
Yeah, this also... I like this. This is also good against 7 Great Demon Lords. This is probably your worst matchup. But it also is good against Blue Hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
And Mirage.
Yeah. It's anti-blue.
It literally is. It's the anti-blue card. I've considered putting it in my vaccine list because of that. Then we have Michael. I can't even... Oh,
click on it.
The website froze. Cool. Nope. Okay. Magnamon X. This guy's got 3 Flamedramons. Dude is rolling in the dough.
Ultimate Flare and a Full Moon and Heaven's Judgment. This man said, "Get that off my board."
I'm not gonna lie. I was really wishing I had some Heaven Judgments last night. I was like, man, if I had these cards, I'd be in like a much better position.
It's really good if you have Magna out.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is it does nothing if you don't.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I guess it's fair. Like, if for some reason your opponent doesn't clear your board, like if you have a couple of these guys out, you could have like 3 to 4 colors.
Only playing one of the Royal Knight?
That is very surprising because, in my opinion, it's like the 2 best cards in the deck are the Royal Knight Magna and the starter deck Magna.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand cutting the other one to 2. Like, I get that, but 1 of the Royal Knight?
I remember.
Yeah, I would rather just play 3 and none of this.
I remember in my matchup against Brandon, I had a very specific moment where I had the Royal Knight Magna out, and I swung with it, and it lived, and that proceeded to happen multiple times where I just needed him to die just so I could draw and get the search back out, and he just refused to die.
Prefer to be squishy.
Brandon just be like, alright.
Every single
Brandon was like, alright, bounce it back to your hand, and then I would do it again, and he would live again, and it happened 3 times.
Well, when he bounces it to your hand, it still triggers.
Yeah. He still got his beam on out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It was just like the fact that it wasn't dying to the security swing.
I feel like in that scenario, it's the same thing, because you're still going to have a body that you can bounce.
Well, yeah, but then I would be able to go into No. I can't remember. No.
Well, I mean, you want it in the trash so you can get a little extra DP on the other Magna sometimes.
I can't. I just remember it swinging multiple times and it not dying. The dog.
I feel like that's good for you.
It is if I had Magna in hand.
True. Interesting list. I personally would feel like I don't have memory in this version. Because he's playing 1 memory setter and then 4 this Davis.
Yeah.
3 boosts.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the mem boost.
I've tested 4 memory boosts, 3 memory setters, and like several of this Davis, and still felt like I never had enough memory.
Yeah, because you got to Digivolve for the full 5.
Yeah, it's just not the same, dude. It's just not the same.
It's not the same.
I like the one Josh built over that, like
100%.
considerably more.
Yeah. Then we have, I'm not going to try to say that. Yellow Vaccine, 2nd place. Let's take a Gandhi.
Yeah, it's just Magna. Yeah.
Yep. The one of
1 Awakening, 1 TK, 4 Emissary.
I don't know about that one, man.
6 level 5s, good. You have to play them now.
Yeah, I only put 3 in, but I can like obviously his goal is just Emissary into Magna, so it's still like dirt cheap. He's like Emissary into this guy, Emissary into this guy.
1 gold Digimon.
Yeah, it's 9 4s. I can understand this build. He's clearly, his goal is like, oh, I can't cheat with Awakening. I'm just gonna cheat it out with Emissary. So he's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, because you have the training, you have the L boost. Yeah, you have like a lot of ways to try to get there.
Yeah, so he
Of course,
cheat.
you Lens. You have what, Alliance?
Yeah, Alliance and Reboot. Like 2 of the best keywords you could probably give to a Magna X.
Yeah, because you can just Digivolve into the Rapid. Like I'm assuming the optimal play, the utmost optimal play is promote Pata, Digivolve into the Rapid, stick the Magna in there, and then just Emissary, and then it just.
Well, you have to.
You go.
Well, you have to go to your 5 first.
Yeah, you have to Emissary into the 5, then Emissary into Magna. But that's a 2 memory play instead of 3 memory off the Awakening. It just requires more stuff to go right for you.
Emissary can't make him skip the level.
No.
It could.
That's what the Awakening does.
If you had.
That's why the Awakening is broken.
I know.
If for some reason you had Magnamons, like the level 4s, in a deck with Emissary, you could do that.
The rapid ones on Magnus.
Yeah,
that's right.
You could Emissary into him if you were playing Magnamon in an Emissary deck, but no, unfortunately, you can't do that.
Would that just be better? Just play this, but no, because their free types are not vaccines.
It would be very. I've considered it. I've considered doing something like that, but it would be way too clunky.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I understand this guy's vision, and it makes a lot of sense. He's like, I'm gonna cheat into Magna. Now it's even cheaper. I just have to see more cards. Congratulations. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, there's like a ringing.
Sorry, I was talking to E.
No, you're good. There's a ringing in my earbuds. I think my computer's about to flip out on me.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Did not go over Imperial?
It's Imperial. We all know what that list looks like.
Oh my god! I thought that was first place. I'm so stupid.
No.
I'm so stupid.
Why? This might be a dumb question, but why do all the Imperial Digimons always have the UG after it?
Maybe to specify, it's the regular version.
It stands for blue green.
Or the black purple.
Okay, that's what I thought. It was just like blue green. Okay.
Yeah, it's to differentiate it from the purple Imperial.
Okay.
Yeah, Purperial.
Yeah.
I just assumed that, but I was like, maybe there's a specific reason.
My bad. I thought that was first place. I completely forgot Imperial got first. Let's take a gander at this broken.
I figured you were just gonna cut all of this and just go straight.
Cut all the dead air. Yeah.
Yes. Yep, that's Imperial.
Yep.
Yeah, we were here all along.
I'm telling you, I'm just gonna cut all that top end in there, and just throw in the 4 Magnas. Cause like that's the only one you would play, right? There's no point in playing the any of the other cards.
Oh
right?
yeah, you might play like maybe the dragon mode and a fighter mode ace or something like that, but like you would cut most of this.
I think you would also have to increase the amount of Ligdramons because he's only running 1.
You'd probably have to play 4 Lydras, and you'd also probably play 2 to 3 Paladin modes.
And what about the other blue-green armor form? What's his name? Little hedgehog-looking dude.
I don't remember his name. You could play him, but I think you're probably better off playing the XVs to give you jamming.
Oh, that's right, because you have to have armor form in its
yeah, in order to get his effects.
For his effects to trigger.
But what's
I'm gonna look it up real quick, whatever his name is.
What's absolutely disgusting is the XVmon gives your Magna jamming because it has the free trait.
Yeah.
Like you needed anything else. Yeah, so this turns into your Awakening, and then it also doubles as a trap card.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Partition on your Magna X. So dumb. I'm surprised this guy's not playing the win button.
Oh, HPD.
It's one card, you just fit it in.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, what do you need to hammer for?
Yeah, like I would legit probably.
Like, if I'm looking at HPD,
I'll take HPD.
Hammer Spark.
Yeah, it's like one of these cheats up to 5 memory. The other one cheats 1 memory, which is better.
Yeah.
Like you can Evo in a Paladin mode for -2 memory if you HPD into it and bot deck another white level 7.
Yeah. Which you also closed the stream, weren't we just going straight into reveals?
So because of the way I share that, when I close the window,
separate.
it automatically closes the stream.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Weekly reveals. We have Shoutmon from BT17.
Should we just say this before we start talking about these, that I don't think any of us, except for Chris, actively like Digicross, period?
No, I only want Cross 4 to come back. That's it.
Okay,
yeah.
well
see how that would be a huge mistake by going through all this stuff.
Yeah,
it won't be. Go ahead.
It's a mechanic I do not like.
Imagine your opponent evos into this Shoutmon in the raising area and then just activated the 5 cost option because they immediately have the color requirements.
Sunrise Buster's not even that good, man.
I'm just saying.
Do you know it's only minus 3k per tamer?
Here's 5 memory turn 1. Here you go. I played a tamer.
You know what card is infinitely better than Sunrise Buster that's probably never going to see the list? Burst Mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drop Burst Mode turn 1. Tell your opponent to suck it.
Start. Go ahead, Sean. Ignore this idiot.
Alright, Shoutmon. Evo's on a level 2 with Cross Art for 0. Who cares? Evo's for 1 on yellow or red. On place, Digimon may digivolve into Omni Shoutmon from under any of your tamers without paying the cost. On deletion, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Play 1 tamer card with the Cross Art trait among them without paying the cost. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck, then save. Inheritable, your turn. The Digimon with the Cross Art trait gains Rush.
God, I hate it already.
We needed more of this because we only have like the one Shoutmon that gives Rush. So we needed another one.
This is like that Nightmon promo that's really good that plays out the dude for free and then saves itself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. Already. That's on a level 3. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
God, dude. Power creep.
Like the fact you can just on-play him and then turn into an Omni Shout as long as you've tucked it under a tamer, which this deck does copiously. You could recycle Cross 4 with this, right? No, because is he...
It says Omni Shoutmon only, Brandon.
Yeah, he's just a Shoutmon Cross 4. He's not...
Okay. Alright, never mind. I was trying to think if like the name, but no, yeah. Okay. That's still super dumb.
That's an insane rookie.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the Omni.
You're never getting Cross 4 back. Omni Shoutmon. Evo's for 4. Evo's for 3 on top of level 4 with Cross Art trait, or Evo's for 4 on top of Shoutmon, or Evo's for 4 on top of yellow or red. This card is also treated as Shoutmon for Digicross. On play / when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. On deletion, you may place one Digimon card with the Cross Art or Blue Flare trait from your hand or trash under any one of your tamers. Inheritable, your turn. This Digimon with the Cross Art trait gains Rush.
There's another Rush. Oh my god.
Yes. You're never getting Cross 4 back, my dude.
I just don't see why not.
Here's the sick alt art.
Is this a BT9 pre-release? Oh, it's EX1. Oh,
it's
nice.
EX1. Yeah. I need that.
I wonder if they're gonna...
If that thing's textured, it's about to be popping off.
I was about to say, I wonder if this is going to be like the Alphamon, where like the winner one is like textured with foil. That'd be sick.
Oh, that would be awesome. Okay, so a pre-release I actually care for. Let's go.
Yeah. Might have to slip a couple bucks under the table to your opponent so you can just win the whole tournament.
Yeah, win the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to look really pretty. If it's foil with texture for the winner, it's going to be very pretty.
Just like Alphas, man. Oof.
Yeah. This is probably going to look kind of...
it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird for us. How do you think they're going to handle our pre-release? Because we didn't have pre-releases during the 1.0, 1.5 format, right? So, what are we going to do about the BT18/19 winner pre-release cards? Are we just going to get both?
You're asking the wrong guy. I don't have any connections with Bandai. I'm just putting it into
the world.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm putting it in.
Ideally, it's something like that, or they just give them to us some other way, but I would like it if it was the same thing as the Alphamon, because I think that's sick. This is probably going to look pretty similar to the gold Melga X from EX5, like in person.
Ooh. Very pretty.
Yes, very pretty. Oh, one has a star and one doesn't have a star.
Oh, so that's probably confirming one of them is going to be textured.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be the same thing as the Alphamon, which is really cool.
Okay. I was wondering what the difference between them was. Good catch.
Yeah, on the scan, nothing. Start of your turn, Taiki Kudo. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. How much does he cost? Okay, he's a 4-cost hammer. All turns, when any of your
playing it for free.
Oh yeah, you're playing it for free. He doesn't cost anything. It says 0 on his name. All turns, when any of your Digimon with the Cross Art trait and with Digicross requirements would be played by suspending this tamer, you may also place cards from under your tamers. For those cards, Digicross, security play without playing its effects. So it's
a memory setter without the search, because the other one was the searcher, right?
The other one, you tuck a card to draw a card.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is just another one of the. This is like the third one I think that allows you to like.
Yeah.
Play it from other tamers, because in the
white
OG,
I think so.
Yeah, the white one, and then the 3-cost Taiki also do it. So this is just like a third one of that, but it's just a memory tamer.
Yeah.
Can't so you also play King version? Kids.
What do you mean play King version? I think King version like plays out a Taiki. Yeah,
for free. So I'm saying like you're probably never paying full cost for this.
Oh yeah, you're probably paying 0 memory for all of these tamers. Very fair and much balance. Shoutmon EX6. What the hell? You're probably never playing this card. Alliance Reboot Material Save 4. On play, for each color in this Digimon's evolution cards, all of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1000 DP for the turn. Then you may play 1 Shooting Starmon from under any of your tamers without paying the cost. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. Digicross is 2 for Digicross -2, Omni Shout, Greymon, Atler Ballistamon, Jaeger Durulmon, and Raptor Sparrowmon.
Damn. I agree. I don't think you're gonna play. I mean,
if it's anything like the bosses that we've gotten previously for Cross, like it's something you just don't.
Because it sounds like all the cards you have to use to cross into that are like.
Gonna be in there.
Yeah, so they're probably like new. I don't know. We'll have to see them when we get to them. The altar, is that the altar underneath it?
No, that's a much better card.
Oh, yeah, that looks like War Greymon. Never mind.
It's a different card.
Okay. Yeah.
Also tricolor.
I will say being able to.
It is tricolor.
Yeah, being able to potentially play this guy for 1 memory, and you know for a fact he's probably gonna have Rush, is pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, it is.
We've got 5 different
I just realized
targets for -2.
So maybe
yeah, but those cards are gonna have to be good to even make the deck.
Yeah, like I feel like the strategy is probably gonna be as low to the ground as we're used to seeing Cross, and like you're never gonna play anything besides maybe the superior mode, Cross 7 or whatever.
I mean, we could be wrong. We'll see, but
yeah, we'll see. This is a very beautiful BT14 altar War Gray.
I mean, I sent this in the group chat when they first revealed it. Do you not remember that?
Yeah,
I do, but that was weeks ago, Brandon.
Yeah, almost a month ago.
Yep. So this is a serial alt art. We might end up getting these for like maybe next year's regional or something. I don't know what they intend to do for us, but it's going to be serialized for Japan, which is really cool.
Very pretty.
Yeah, this is a very pretty card.
Do the same thing, but with Melga.
Nope.
Wow.
Pyoyomon? Inheritable, opponent's turn. When an opponent's Digimon attacks by returning this Digimon with Aqua or Sea Animal and any of its traits to the bottom of the deck, return one of your opponent's Digimon with as high or lower a level as a return Digimon to the hand.
Okay.
Interesting.
What?
Let me lose my whole stack here to bounce your one Digimon.
Yeah, and I'm just putting it back in your hand, whereas like my Digimon's going to the bottom of the deck. What?
Mm-hmm.
The only way I could see this even being like close to okay is if there's a way to mitigate that from being absolutely destructive.
Maybe there's like a way to like alternately pay this cost in the deck or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a way to like not actually lose your whole stack.
Yeah, if there's a way to cheat this cost right here, this card's playable. But if there isn't, this is just objectively awful.
Like, I could see it being to the point where if you have a stack, if we might actually see it when we get to these next few cards, but like, imagine the card would say, if the top card of the stack were to be removed, like, you get to keep the whole stack. You just take the top card off.
Well,
I don't know.
The issue with that is because this starts with buy. It's actually a cost to actually do this. Like, you would have to return it in order to bounce something. But maybe there's something that like lets your sources float if you get bot decked or something like that, to where like it spawns up more bodies.
Play out all your sources.
Yeah, but like without knowing anything else about how the rest of the sport's going to be, this is like the opposite of acing your opponent.
Reverse ace.
Yeah, you're like Cybermanning their Yamcha.
Psych. It's the wrong number.
It's a rookie with evade. Let's go. Swim on. And jamming is an inheritable. Please stop. Please stop.
I saw memes about this little fish.
Have you considered giving it jamming? Yeah, otherwise it's a vanilla, just has rule text on it. Cool, thanks. So this is a re-reveal with minor art change for the Queen Beemon. What was
I love it.
She got some heavies up here.
I like how that bee off to her side is like, he's shook, man. He don't know what's going on.
This guy, yeah, his eyes are wide. Dude.
He's bugging out, man.
He is geeked up. Can't wait to build this deck and see how awful it is.
God, I just love how it, like, the design makes her look like she's sitting on a throne, but she is the throne.
Yeah, I think that's cool too. Is that a fan? I think that's one of those.
Oh, yeah, she has like one of those foldable fans that you like.
It's Katana. Katana from Mortal Kombat, for those of you that are watching, not the sword.
Yeah.
Sparrowmon. Evo's on a level 2 with Twilight or Cross Art for 0, otherwise 1 on black or purple. When attacking, this Digimon may evolve into Raptor Sparrowmon from under any of your tamers without paying the cost. On deletion, save. Inheritable, your turn, this Digimon with the Cross Art trait gains Collision.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. We also have to remember that, keep this in mind, the boss that we saw earlier counts colors and sources.
Yeah.
So this guy is already 2 colors.
Yeah, but it's not going to be this card. It's the next one. It's Raptor Sparrowmon.
True.
Yeah. But I mean, I hate to get ahead of myself, but he's the next card.
Yeah.
And he's 2 color.
E.
Raptor Sparrowmon. Evo's on a level 3 with Cross Art trait for 2 memory. This card is also treated as Sparrowmon for a Digicross. Sparrowmon for a Digicross. On play / when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with the Cross Art or Blue Flare trait among them to the hand. Trash the rest. On deletion, you may place 1 Digimon card with the Cross Art or Blue Flare trait from your hand to trash under any of your tamers. Inheritable, your turn, this Digimon with the Cross Art trait gains Collision.
I mean, theoretically speaking, you don't even have to play the regular Sparrow.
Yeah, you could just play this
guy. I mean, you probably
guy.
would because he's a level 3, but...
Well, you probably just play Shoutmons at your level 3 slot at this point.
So let's think about this. Okay, the Omni Shoutmon gives rush.
I'm concerned about what I'm seeing.
The Omni Shoutmon gives rush is 2 colors, red, yellow. This one is black, purple, gives collision.
Yeah. This is an issue already because, like, if this actually functions as a deck, you basically, like, probably more than ruin mode your opponent and then give all their stuff blocker with your collision and just swing over anything that doesn't already die. In addition to killing something when you swing.
Yeah.
This sounds disgusting. I hate it already.
Fair and balanced. Let's go.
Please be slow and clunky. Please be slow and clunky. Sangomon. On play reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with the Aqua Sea Animal and any of its traits and 1 card with the Liberator trait among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Rule trait has aquatic type. Inheritable, end of attack. Once per turn, gain 1 memory.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to matter if your whole stack gets bot deck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's end of his attack, so I guess that doesn't matter.
I mean, that's a cool inheritable. I think we've only ever seen this like one other time with like the BT4 Melga. Or was it BT5? With the Melga that has the inheritable, I think it's BT5.
Oh, BT5.
Yeah.
I think that's just when attacking. I don't think it's end of attack.
Oh, you might. I think you're right. I think they didn't start doing end of attack. No, they had.
End of attacks are probably like your Fenriluga new cards, the Sol, the level 3 and the level 4.
So yeah, this might be the
first memory to be over.
Yeah, this might be the first time we've ever seen end of attack gain 1 memory as an inheritable. It's interesting.
It's the first time I can think of.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the cards I just mentioned.
Shellmon. When digivolving, if you have 1 or less tamers, you may play 1 Yao Kinglon from your hand without paying the cost. Rule trait has aquatic type. Inheritable, end of attack. Once per turn, gain 1 memory.
Dang! Okay. If you have this and that card in the stack,
2 memory.
Can you imagine attacking with a card with like jamming, and then it's just like, all right, 2 memory.
Yeah, I'm assuming that this deck lets you warp as you attack, because that's really the only reason to have it be end of attack as opposed to when attacking. I'm assuming the team is probably going to do that.
I have a small theory. Don't scroll down yet.
Okay, all right.
What if this tamer we're about to read is like this deck's version of Baumon, but you digivolve from bottom of the deck instead of trash?
Oh my god, that'd be so wild.
Could you imagine you just kept picking up the bottom of your deck? I don't have a target.
Well, no, because that's what the Tama's for. You
no, I get that. But it'd be like funny. You just like shuffle your deck and you're just like looking at it. You're like, make sure there's something good down there.
That is
because you also get a set. You get a set what's on the bottom of your deck when you search.
Yeah, I think that'd be very awkward, but it'd be an interesting mechanic. Yeah. All right.
Okay, let's see if I'm even close.
Yeah, whatever. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set at 3. Your turn, when any of your Digimon with Aqua or Sea Animal and any of its traits attacks by suspending this tamer, place 1 such level 5 or lower Digimon card from your hand as that Digimon's bottom Digivolution card.
Damn,
sad. This is not... God.
Damn it, what's the point of that Tama?
God, this sucks. Okay. Disappoint. Wizardmon X. Has the Which One You trait, also X antibody, obviously. Evil's on top of Wizardmon for 0, otherwise level 3's yellow and purple for 3 memory. On play / when digivolving, add your top security card to the hand, then if Wizardmon X antibody is in this Digimon's sources, you may place 1 yellow or purple option card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand as your bottom security card. Inheritable all turns once per turn. When this yellow Digimon with the data or Which One You trait would leave the battle area by an opponent's effect, by trashing your top security card, it doesn't leave.
That seems pretty good. I mean, all things considered.
That is pretty nice. I am curious how this deck's going to work, but it seems really interesting.
I mean, this is like basically for the Witchenly deck, right? I don't think you could use this in something like a Beals.
No,
this is also like a Wizardmon line.
Yeah, this wouldn't really function in. I mean, yeah, this wouldn't. You'd never play this. It doesn't trash cards. Yeah. And the inheritable wouldn't do anything for you.
Definitely not Beals support. This is Witchenly support.
Yeah, this is like the Dynasmon deck support. I really like this all turns protection. This is really strong.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
I like the art.
I mean, at least it's only once per turn.
Oh, it is only once per turn. I overlooked that. Not as good, but I guess you'd have multiple.
I mean, it's still, yeah.
You'd have multiple of these effects in your stack, so you'd have like three per turn, something. This is gonna get a pre-release stamp.
You're gonna be expensive.
Probably, if this deck's even remotely good. Skull Beluchimon. That art looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that art. Very clean.
Also pre-release. On play / when evolving by trashing your top security card, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon and gain 1 memory. On deletion, recover +1, and then inheritable all turns once per turn. When a card is removed from your security stack, you may unsuspend this Digimon.
Oh, so you burn your protection, and then you get to unsuspend.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know if you... Like, it looks like it's supposed to go in that deck because it's yellow and purple, but it doesn't have the Witch Honey trait, so I'm curious if it's supposed to be in there.
Oh, yeah. It's undead next antibody.
Yeah.
Maybe it's for something else then. I don't know.
It seems interesting. I'm curious if it's supposed to... Because I don't know, like, the actual, like... I know that you guys told me Wizard eventually becomes Dionys, but I don't remember what his 5 is.
Yeah. I will say, now that we're looking at the next tamer, I will say I appreciate the art direction they went for these tamers, where it's very clearly not based on their anime appearances. It just looks like it's based off, I think it's the manga or the webcomic, whatever it's called.
It does look nice. It's really... It's obviously going to become more and more common, but it's really weird seeing tamers that are uncommons or commons because they're not hollow.
All our tamers being rare.
Yeah. Like, physically holding the Fenrir Lugomon deck in my hand and with, like, Ben's list, I would, if I glanced over it quick enough, if I looked at the memory setting tamer, I would think it was a Digimon. Yeah, Cracker Fang. Just because it wasn't hollow.
I will say I have seen the Blue Flare support, and Blue Flare is never gonna die.
Well, yeah.
Oh, God.
Kiriha, start your main phase by placing one Digimon card with the Blue Flare or Cross Art trait from your hand under any of your tamers. Gain 1 memory. So it doesn't have to be itself. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I feel like the old ones were themselves, unless I just... Okay, they were? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
All turns when any of your Blue Flare trait Digimon with the Digicross requirement will be played by suspending this tamer and place cards from under your tamers for those Digicross. Security play it without paying the cost.
Name a bigger nerf. Name a bigger nerf than Christopher to Kyria. Like, come on, man.
I feel like there's some bias in there. Yeah, it just seems like a pretty standard cross art tamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about the same.
It's this new line. They really want us to move away from the starter deck Greymon, but we won't, Bandai. I don't care what you keep doing and printing. We will always play starter deck Red Greymon and Blue Flare.
Yeah.
Suck it.
They're like, it's unsearchable. Cut it out.
No.
Here's more Greymons, please.
No.
So I have Greymon. This guy has Rush. That's
yeah, you gotta watch out for that now.
Yep. On deletion, if you have 1 or less tamers, you may play 1 Kiriha from your hand without paying the cost, then save. I really don't like them giving Digicross this mechanic because it's like, it's okay if Skull Knightmon has it because the archetypes that he goes in suck currently.
Yeah.
But
sucks.
like that mechanic being in a good deck is actually really powerful.
Yo.
Inheritable reboot. Cool. They needed that.
Yo. Metal Greymon needed reboot.
Imagine your opponent just goes, all right, memory setting Kiriha, blazing memory boost. Okay, I have enough to rush you for game now.
Yeah. God, playing against this deck is so unfun. Male Bergermon. Blocker. On deletion, you may place 1 Digimon card with the Blue Flare trait from your trash and any of your tamers, then save inheritable blocker. Well, that's what you need the reboot for, I guess.
Reboot and blocker. Let's go.
It's currently not stunning anything, but we'll see if that...
Well, I mean, it was always the 5. Well, I guess the inheritable used to stay here, right?
I was going to say the inheritable, yeah.
Yeah. New Metal Greymon. I cannot tell what the hell's happening in this artwork.
He's slashing at the screen.
You know it's bad when Sean reads Metal Greymon with such disgust in his voice.
I really don't like Digicross as a mechanic.
Yeah, same.
Material save 2. On play, the Digimon gains rush for the turn. When attacking, de-evo one of your opponent's Digimon. Then the Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the blue flare trait from under any of your tamers without paying the cost.
Oh my
Digicross
god.
-2 blue Greymon and male Bergemon, so you cannot play red Greymons.
Suck it, we'll still do it.
You're playing this guy out for 3.
Yeah.
And then evoing into a level 6 for free.
Inheritable end of attack. Once per turn, you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card with the blue flare trait from under any of your tamers without paying the cost. That's really gross. I don't even need to see the mega. So like what Brandon said, you're doing all that, de-evoing one of your opponent's Digimon. End of attack, play this guy out. He has rush. Swing again.
Swing again. Yep.
He has save. Who cares?
God.
He plays a tamer and then saves.
I hope this deck hard loses to aces. That's the one thing we didn't have back in the day when we were getting crossed on.
It would have if this wasn't here.
Yeah.
It's much easier for them to play around it.
Evo your stack and put you at the perfect level to ace them.
Yeah, you would have to have aces at multiple levels in order to be able to like set yourself up to not get like screwed by this deck.
Also, I saw them announce this tamer, the Iron Mako, and I go, oh, they're announcing this right before the ban list. Iron Mako.
If only.
Yeah.
If only.
Side-eyeing old Iron Mako like,
I think this deck is going to be just as good as it used to be, like relatively speaking.
Never dies.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, it's cool that archetypes never die. I wouldn't want archetypes to just completely die, but this does seem pretty cancerous.
It is just funny. They're just like they keep running more blue Greymon. It's like no, we won't.
I think the only one you can use the old Greymon with is the original Metal Greymon. No, because doesn't the EX4 Metal doesn't he require blue Greymon as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, you won't play that one anymore, and you'll be like, I guess I can't play this card.
Well, we'll keep doing it. We'll find a way.
Iron Mako. Start your main phase. If your opponent has Digimon, gain 1 memory. Main. If you have 20 or more cards in the trash, by suspending this tamer, one of your Impmon may evo into Beelzemon in your hand or trash for an evo cost of 4. Ignoring its dissolution requirements. Security play without paying the cost.
Keep getting away with this.
It's just that Beelzemon's effect on this card.
The tamer.
It's that Beelzemon in addition to the Impmon from the starter deck's effect.
Mm-hmm. If they have the memory, they could literally evo into the rush Beels from trash to just like rush for game.
Mm-hmm.
So stupid. Like imagine floating into an Impmon. Oh, because I milled so many cards, I have like 5 memory now. Okay, here's Beelzemon swing per game.
Yeah, so
Eat a bag.
With the current version, you swing with your level 5, it dies. You float into the Beels that has rush. You tuck X antibody, swing with it, evo into Beels X, trash up cards. It dies, float into Impmon, and then if you already have this out, you can evo back into a Beels from your trash that just died, and then swing at him again.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Thanks, Bandai. Very cool. Bond of True Love. What the hell's he handing him?
He's giving him the toy.
It's okay. So in the show, Sean, these are Impmon's tamers.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, after Impmon messed everything up, digivolved himself into Beelzemon
by making a deal with the devils.
Yeah. He basically regrets all that, comes back to them, and they're like, hey, we missed you, and blah, blah, blah. And Immon's like, I have to go help the kids fight the D-Reaper. And they give him this little gun, and when he digivolves, the gun transforms into the blaster from Blast Mode. Yeah.
So, yeah, because, like, he's really anti-tamers. Like, he doesn't like when kids are helping the Digimon, because at the beginning, they're little kids. So they treated him like a toy.
These are infants.
Yeah,
they look very
young. They treated him like a toy. Like they fought over him. Like they did the whole scene where they both have an arm and they're pulling on him,
Jesus.
and he was like, "No, I'm out." He's I'm out. I'm not dealing with this. And they end up like apologizing, and he makes up with them, and he realizes like, okay, they're just kids. Like, I get it. But and when he's about to go into battle, they're like, hey, you know, do your best. Here's my favorite like toy gun. And he's like, this is a gift.
Use it to protect yourself. Yeah.
And he's like, this is a gift from my kids. Like, he accepts they're his kids. So when he evos, he actually goes into blast mode and gets the cannon as the arm. It's a really sweet scene because you go through the entire season not quite fully understanding why he doesn't like Tamers until you get the backstory of like, oh, because his kids were like kids. And they were using him without realizing it. Because, you know, they don't know better.
Yeah.
They're like 3 and 4 or something like that. So, it's a very sweet scene.
It does sound like a very sweet moment. Let's see if this card sucks. When this card is trashed from your deck, you may place it in the battle area. Okay. Main, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then place this card in the battle area. Start of your turn, if you don't have a Digimon delay, you may play 1 Hitmon from your trash without paying the cost. Security, place this card in the battle area.
So this plus that Tamer are just like free.
Yeah. If you evo into the bills with Rush, yeah, it's free.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Seems like a good card. It's literally archetype specific missed memory boost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, they got the scramble cards before we did. This is literally a scramble card. Seems pretty good for the deck. If I remember correctly, this card kind of sucks, but let's see. Billsmon Blast Mode Ace.
Hard,
8 to hard play. Evos for 5 on top of purple. Evos for 4 on a level 6 with Billsmon in name. On play / when evolving, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. If you have 10 or more cards in your trash, delete one of their Digimon instead, so that lets you hit 7s. When attacking, once per turn, by returning 10 non-Digi cards from your trash to the top of the deck, trash your opponent's top security card, Ace Overflow -5. I suspect this is just going to be a generically good level 7 purple Ace, and this doesn't actually go in a Billsmon deck.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I mean, I think it would be better if you could do it in increments of 10 to trash 1 security for every 10.
Yes, I agree.
But the fact that it's only 10 for 1 security, it just feels like a less good version of the last good one we had.
Yeah, because this guy, you're going to evo for 4 into him. The other one, you could potentially effectively evo for 1 memory, and it would give you a double swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy just seems generically like a good ace for level 7s. But yeah, like I said, like I don't think you play this in Billsmon. This is just an ace for purple.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of upsetting, but I mean,
generically he's actually pretty good, but just with how Bills works, I don't think he goes in the deck.
Right.
Do we have a black level 7 ace yet, or is black still lagging behind?
Bikemon? No, that's level 6. You said level 7.
I don't think we do.
Well, currently released.
Yeah, unless we see one coming up here soon.
No. Well, we had the pirate. Isn't he black?
He's not an ace.
He's a DNA.
Yeah, he's not an ace.
He's that's right. 7. Okay.
He's a DNA. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I mean, black always gets the short end of the stick.
Yeah, true that.
Pikmons. This is cross art. Inheritable when attacking once per turn by placing 1 Digimon card with the cross art or blue flare trait from your hand under any of your tamers, draw 1.
Okay, great. Just what the
That's pretty good.
Yep.
That turbos it out even faster.
Yep. you can generically tuck anything. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, a new cross 4.
Oh, you're never getting it back, dude. Shoutmon Cross 4. All turns, when this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may place up to 3 Digimon cards with the cross art trait from this Digimon's evolution cards under one of your tamers. And he crosses -2 Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Darulumon, and Starmons.
So you can play him free.
You can play him
you're not playing
free.
This. You're not playing this.
Free.
This is a vanilla. This does nothing.
I mean,
yeah, we don't know how the rest of the deck is going to operate, though. Maybe it's actually super cracked. You're playing it for free.
At this point, I want to play the Cross 6 thingy that we read earlier, or whatever it was, over that.
Like, what if this, what if the line gets, like, the Dextoru stuff where if you would leave the battle area, you can prevent it.
And that it won't.
Yeah, I doubt that. I'm confused by his all turns effect because would it not function the same as just having material save 3?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't, because doesn't material save only work on like on deletion, right?
Yeah. So this is probably a way
that's right. If it gets bounced, it wouldn't happen. So this is actually better.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I was forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can tuck stuff no matter how he leaves now, except for like the Digivolve.
Yeah.
So it's just power creep material save. Okay. So I was confused. I was like, why is this not just material save?
I will not lie. This art does kind of low key go hard.
It does look cool.
Yes, it does.
The issue I have is I don't really like. I don't mind, what's the word, asymmetrical designs, but when they get to this point, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
He's got the guy on his shoulder, he's got the other guy on his shoulder, he's got the weird, I get what you're saying.
He looks like you took a bunch of toys and melted them together.
This season is very Transformers, where, you know, like, you know the whole idea where they're like, they're more...
Transformers.
They're
more
like
I was gonna say they're more like Ultron, or they're more like
yeah, okay, Ultron, yeah, not Ultron, Voltron.
Yeah. Voltron, Power Rangers.
Yeah, where they're like combining with Shoutmon and becoming stronger Digimon.
I don't know, but I like those designs. Like those designs are asymmetrical, but like they still like make sense. This guy doesn't really make sense to me when I look at him.
It's like I like the asymmetrical version of Omnimon because his body itself is symmetrical. It's just his arms that are the asymmetric part.
Yeah, like he makes sense when you look at him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shoutmon Cross 5. All turns when the Digimon leave the battle area, you may place up to 3 Digimon cards with the Cross Art trait from the Digimon sources under one of your tamers. On deletion, you may play 1 Cross Art trait Digimon card with a play cost of 4 or less from under any of your tamers without paying the cost. Digicross -2, Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Darulymon, Starmons, and Sparrowmon.
Again, you can play him for free.
You can play him for free, and so this all turns is interruptive, so you could actually tuck what you wanted to replay out.
Yep.
Assuming he's being deleted.
Right.
Yeah, I'm curious if that goes in the deck, but we won't know. Ballistamon and Atler Ballistamon.
Okay, so this Atler card is the next one for that big boss monster up top. So we've seen the Omni Shout, we've seen the Sparrow, and then this is the Ballistamon.
Yeah.
Which, real quick, I'm going to double check.
He's not a cyborg.
No, not what I'm talking about. Okay,
So I didn't know if that's what I'm always curious.
Yeah, the other one did have black, so you're not adding extra 2 colors. You're only adding
the one.
So currently
one of the cards
it's ruin mode currently.
No, it's more than that. No, yeah, because it's gonna be all the colors under it. So green. It's gonna end up being all the colors. So green, black, yellow, purple, red, blue. That's 6.
Maybe
it's gonna end up. Yeah, it's gonna end up being all of them.
Okay. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Brandon, what were if you can go back while Sean's reading this and then tell us what was the last Digicross card? Was it Zeeg?
Zeeg,
because Zeeg would just be the blue one.
Yeah, Zeeg was one.
Zeeg would just be the blue one.
Probably blue and black, based on these colors.
Okay.
All right. Where was I? Okay. Ballistamon. On play, the Digimon may digivolve into Atler Ballistamon under any of your tamers without paying the cost. Okay. On deletion, save. Inheritable opponent starting the Digimon with the Cross Art trait gains blocker. Atler Ballistamon. Evos on a level 4 with Cross Art trait for 3 memory. This card is also treated as Ballistamon for a cross. On play, when digivolving, one of your Digimon can't be returned to the hand or deck and gets 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. On deletion, you may place 1 Digimon card with the Cross Art or Blue Flare trait from your hand or trash under any of your tamers. Inheritable opponent's turn, Digimon with the Cross Art trait gains blocker.
So it's pretty good protection right there, I'd say.
Yeah, it's like anti-blue.
So what do we have right now? We have Collision, we have Blocker, we have Rush, and then
Reboot, right? Was the Zeeg?
No, that was the... We haven't seen Zeeg yet.
Yeah, what's the Sparrowmon? The Sparrowmon was the Collision, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Sparrowmon was Collision.
Hey, that guy's gonna be
the issue I have with Digicross is how free all of the resources are for the mechanic. It really feels the same way as Pendulums did in Yu-Gi-Oh, where like their stuff just floats, it doesn't matter, they're not actually losing resources. And all of this stuff so far seems way like it's power creeped that.
The thing is, it's gonna be weird with this deck because like they're giving us 2 cards, right? But like you're never gonna use the Ballistamon over the other one because the Ballistamon doesn't go into that guy's cross. The Alter Ballistamon does.
True. Yeah. Like, I guess the challenge with all the support is figuring out how to build a deck that's coherent.
Right.
Like how to balance these new cards.
Yeah, but I feel like once someone figures it out, it's going to be very powerful.
I mean, Jover.
Yeah. All right, cards that I was people were disappointed about. I haven't read them because they say Justimon on them.
Yeah. To be fair, I think we have higher res versions of these. Yeah. If you want to just skip over it for now, we have higher res versions of them after the level 2.
Okay, we'll delay it. Hotmon, inheritable opponent's turn. While your opponent has Digimon, this Digimon gains reboot. Terrible Tama is black.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Manda.
I don't understand the concern for giving black like good Digitomas.
Just give it a reboot. Why do they have to have a Digimon? Just give it a reboot.
Yeah, like, who cares? And this is also worse because it should say like, oh, never mind, that wouldn't work. I was gonna say start a main phase, but then you just wouldn't reboot because you've already missed the unsuspend phase.
I was just gonna say if it just gave reboot.
Well, yeah,
right? And you had it during your turn. If there was an effect that specified you had to have reboot, you would just always have it. Well, I don't think there's a card like that, but I'm saying like if a card was like if this Digimon has reboot, give it this. You know what I mean?
There's black Tamas that do that. They say you get like 1,000 DP if you have reboot and stuff like that.
Well, of course, like, it couldn't be a Tama, but like none of those effects would help if you had this Tama because it's only during your opponent's turn.
Yeah, true.
Like imagine you had an option card that says if this Digimon has reboot, give it security check +1. You couldn't use it.
It wouldn't work.
Wouldn't work. Bad card design is bad.
Yeah, honestly, they should just have it just say. It would probably end up getting played in decks that aren't actually really black.
That's fine.
But if it just said this Digimon has reboot, it probably wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yeah,
like, honestly.
Like at this point, reboot's not that big of a deal. It used to be pretty bad because removal was so scarce. Like back in like the first few sets of the game, but now that we have removal like baked into every strategy, it's not that big of a deal.
Like, look at blue. Look over here, and they said, "You know what? Maybe
jamming."
Now, of course, that was a mistake because blue is a very strong color.
Yes,
but like, are we punishing black for that now?
Black just stays getting punished, dude. They've had one tier 1/tier 0 deck, and it got ban hammered like a few weeks into the format that we had for it.
Bring it back.
I don't want them to bring it back, but I think black has never had like a successful strategy outside of alpha full power. Just give them good cards, dude. It's not that hard.
Like Machine Dramon to be a black deck, but it's never been like tier 0.
Yeah, it's also like I don't really think of Machine Dramon as a black deck. It's just a cyborg / machine deck.
Yeah, it's just
a Machine Dramon deck. Yeah,
it's just an archetype deck. Yeah, it's like considering Greymon a red deck. Like you don't really consider it; you just consider it Greymon.
Yeah, exactly.
Greymon. Yeah.
Rio, is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Rio Akiyama. Okay.
Yeah, there you
go. Start your main phase by placing one option card with the device trait from your hand in your battle area. Draw one. main by suspending his tamer and trashing 4 option cards with a device tray in your battle area. You may play 1 Cybergemon from your hand to trash without paying the cost.
Imagine this is such a late game card. Like, there are late game cards. This is like, hey, the game is over and we're just messing around.
This is minimum 4 turns of setup with just his effect if he's just there's one on the field.
I saw a meme and it was somebody saying, why did they make Justimon a worse version of Sakuyamon?
And that's saying something because Sakuyamon also sucks.
Yeah. Like, imagine they looked over at like Sakuyamon and said, man, this deck does nothing. It has nothing going for it. Like, cool. It has like some interesting plays. Maiden mode was on the fringe of being actually playable and not a Sakuyamon.
Yeah, I was like, it wasn't even played in Sakuyamon.
What if we took that and then put it in the worst color in the card game and made it worse?
Yeah,
what's funny is Justimon has a lot of fans because his design is so cool, and
he does look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like based on a Power Ranger / like a Kamen Rider.
Yeah,
and people love that stuff. They eat it up.
It's a shame that his cards blow because he does have a cool design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still have never had that Justimon on the channel.
They just messed up making him black.
I don't own those cards anymore, so it never will be on the channel.
We got him, Sean.
Anyway, Justimon Blitzarm Ace. I haven't read this card, like I said, but I've heard that people were really upset about it. Evo's on top of Justimon Excel Arm or Justimon Critical Arm for 1 memory. Otherwise, Evo's for 3 on top of black. Obviously, Blast Evos. On play / when Digivolving, the Digimon gains blocker and isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects until the end of your opponent's turn. When Digivolving / when attacking, once per turn, by trashing 1 option card in the battle area, unsuspend this Digimon.
Okay, you know how you fix it? Take away the once per turn. Make it playable.
I think you would have to take away the once per turn, and you'd also have to include options. You just have to be a Magna X effect after each.
This really is just sounds like worse Sakuyamon because now you're being forced to play these option cards.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, we were wondering what the device cards were for. It's for him.
Yep.
It's
a shame this art actually looks pretty nice.
Can we talk about how he is somehow on a card art with both Apocalypse and Omnimon? And
that is. I was trying to figure out who that was.
What looks to be War Greymon? I wonder if that's Omni Zwart behind him.
I think that might be Omni Zwart.
Because that's War Greymon, right? Like, I'm not tripping.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see War Greymon? I think this is Omni's arm.
Under the card text.
Yeah. You see where it says sample? You see his red hair right here? Yeah.
It might be. It could be one of the Shoutmons, but it also might be. This looks like a War Greymon arm.
Like, looking at the horn, the way it's coming off, the color scheme.
Oh, it is War Greymon. Yeah, this is his head right here. Yeah, you're 100% right. This is War Greymon.
Like, but all the way over there by where the set number is, like, is that his arm?
Yeah, this is his, this is his claw thingy. Yeah, this is the back of his head. This is his hair. This is his horn. This is his shield.
Okay, so we're gonna assume that's Zwart behind him, because that's kind of weird.
It has to be Zwart, because this is, like, dark.
Yeah.
And this is Apocalypse. I couldn't tell what this was until you said that, but yeah, it's definitely Apocalypse.
Who on this art team thought, all right, guys, how do we make this card look like it's better than it is? Oh,
put better cards on it.
And Zwart behind him. Then people will be like, oh, he's on the same tier as them? Oh, this card's busted.
This is really funny because this art goes really hard, and it's just as super rare, in addition to him sucking pretty bad.
Well, I mean, hopefully the alt art looks clean.
I won't say the card sucks. I will say it had potential to be much better than what it is.
Sean, let's be honest. If we think Sakuyamon sucks, this card sucks.
Well, this card only requires you to have 1 option in your battle area to do that thing. The immunity from your opponent's Digimon effects for the turn is pretty good. But, like, he doesn't have removal baked into his effect. So, like, what are you blasting into him and then blocking? Like, who cares?
Right.
Cool. It's like War Greymon from the starter deck.
Alright, well, let's see what these chess pieces end up doing. Maybe they'll somehow bring this around.
Doubt. Queen device.
Jesus, they're all super expensive. Why are they expensive?
3 memory, yellow option. While you don't have Queen device, you may ignore this card's color requirements. When this Digimon is trashed in your battle area, when this card is trashed, what the hell did I read the word Digimon? When this card is trashed in your battle area until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP, and that Digimon's when Digivolving effects don't activate. Main until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP, and that Digimon's when Digivolving effects don't activate, then put this card in your battle area. Security, 2 of your opponent's Digimon gain security attack minus 2 for the turn, then add this card to your hand.
Okay, so
oh my god, it doesn't even play it out.
And that goes to your hand. You have to put it in the battle area yourself.
Yeah. I will say at least it shuts off their aces.
It does, which is a really good effect, and you can do it with the delay effect or the main effect, which is nice. Well, it's not even a delay effect, it's just when it's trash, so like you'd have to play cards that actually trash it.
It might as well be a delay effect.
Yeah, it's effectively a delay effect in the decks that it goes in. Although, I will say, I think the new Chaos mode, the Lucimon, I think that trashes option cards from the battle area as well, so that would trigger this if it's on the field.
Oh, yeah.
This feels more like a security control card to me.
Yeah. I will say, I just off the first one, seems okay.
Yeah, like this actually seems okay because then you can stop your opponent from acing you potentially if they only have like one viable target when you're trying to attack them. My issue with the Justimon is, I guess this next one's going to give him DP, but like you're attacking their security, you're trying to kill them, and you're not immune to options.
And he's only 11k.
Yeah, he's only base 11k.
I will say, like, you could trigger both in one turn as well. Like, you could activate it, and then it gets set to the battle area, right?
True. Yeah, there's not a delay here, so you can just, because it's trash, it just happens. Yeah, that's a good point.
If you have a way to play it out for free, for example, you could play it out, swing with the Justy, and then you could target 2 different cards so they can't Evo.
Yep, that is true. I did not realize that.
Security effect's okay.
Yeah, like all around the card seems okay. I'm just curious if it's going to end up just going in security control because that deck is more viable.
I could see that card getting taken advantage of in a not Justimon deck.
Yes, exactly. Because you can put it in anything because it ignores the color requirements if you don't already have one in the field.
Yeah. And then once you have one, you can just keep playing because now you have that color. Right?
True. No. It's an option card. It doesn't count as a color requirement.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep. You almost got me, dude.
Almost.
Night device. While you don't have Night device, you may ignore this card's color requirements. When this card is trashed in your battle area, one of your Digimon gains piercing and gets 4,000 DP for the turn. Main, same thing except for place this card in the battle area. Security, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then add this card to the hand. This is also 3 cost. The security effect seems pretty strong. I feel like these cards would be so much better if they were 2 cost.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at the 3, and it's just like making me not like them. There has to be a way to play these out for free.
It is possible some of the support does it because I know that the new what's the Beelstar deck called? Musketeers. The new Musketeer support like cheats their options like into their sources and stuff. So maybe there's a way to cheat these out.
I could see this like before we get to the next one. This next one's Kings. Like I could imagine it being like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you have Jack's Knight, Queen's Knight, King's Knight, and like the King I think is the one who does it, plays out the other 2, or it might be something like that.
I know. Yeah.
Like
I think
the next one.
There's something.
The next one's a 4 cost. Like maybe this next one will help you cheat out more of them.
Ideally, King device, 4 cost purple option. While you don't have King device, you may ignore this card's color requirements. When this card is trash in your battle area, place 1 device trait option card with a cost of 3 from your trash to the battle area. Main, place 1 device trait option card with a cost of 3 from your trash to the battle area, then place this card in the battle area. Security, you may place 1 device trade option card from your hand to the battle area, then add this card to the hand.
I mean, I guess that just means you can play analog in this deck.
Why couldn't it just be hand or trash, dude?
That's what I'm saying. Come on, you're already paying $4 for this thing. Make it better.
I get that you made it purple, so like it has to be trash, but like just make it hand or trash, man. This would make this so much better.
Now you're having to play analog just so you can get them in the trash consistently.
Yeah. Unless there's maybe they can discard them to like draw cards or something like the Sakuyamon support,
or like gain a memory or something like that.
Yeah. So
like I could see the level 4 saying when Digivolving trash, one option card, one memory.
Why are you guys coping on this? Okay.
I'm not coping, dude. I'm just trying to
I'm trying to get in there.
There's no cope, dude. I do not have hope for this deck. I'm just thinking of ways potentially to make this playable as we discover these cards. I mean, you're probably right, dude. It's Justimon, and it's black.
In my opinion, it's just worse Sakuyamon, because at least with Sakuyamon, with those cards, like once you have the plugins in your hand and you Digivolve into your boss monster, you can just start playing them for free. With this, they've already got to be established.
Yes, I do agree. It definitely so far is just worse Sakuyamon.
So I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling. We have yet to see the rest of his line, so we won't know until maybe next week or the week after.
Sag.
So we'll find out, I guess, eventually.
Yeah, a new Tocado, because they needed this. It's a memory setter. Your turn when any of your Digimon digivolves in. Huh?
I said I wonder if this one will let you warp too.
Probably. When any of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon card with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, by suspending this tamer, that Digimon gains raid for the turn, then it attacks the player.
Huh.
Okay. I guess. I mean,
that's not bad.
I wish it just said then it may attack.
Right.
Instead of attacks the player, just so you either are forced to use the raid or.
Yeah. So the issue is this
you
forces
can't choose a suspended target.
You can't do that, but also you can't choose not to attack immediately if you give it raid. Like, once you give it raid, you have to declare an attack on the player.
Right.
I would prefer if it just said then it may attack, because it's pseudo blitz. Clearly, that was their intention, but
You're also forced.
Yeah, I would prefer not to be forced to declare the attack if I didn't have to.
Yeah, you'd rather be a little more flexible in how you approach it.
Yeah, I mean, this seems okay. I guess they're probably just replacing the memory setting Warp Tocado at this point.
Because we have a better Warp Tocado now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a rare, okay. Growlmon, when digivolving, if you have one or less tamers, you may play one Tocado Mitsuki from your hand without paying the cost. Inheritable all turns while you have 0 or less memory, add 2,000 to this Digimon's EP based deletion effects maximum. Okay. So this is power creeped BT12 Growlmon.
Yeah. So we're going back to the DP deletion bonuses, huh?
Yeah, because all their stuff, like Crimson Mode does it, Megijimon, this new War Growl is going to do it too.
Oh, the War Growl has an inheritable too. I think it's probably just going to be, it's basically the same thing.
It's interesting because the Megijimon also has an inheritable too, the Ace, and it's like, I think it adds 5k if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy.
Yeah. War Growlmon, 5 to hard play, 3 to Evo. On play / when devolving, delete 3,000 DP total worth of your opponent's Digimon. For each of their Digimon, add 2,000 to this DP-based deletion effects maximum. Then for each card deleted by this effect, gain 1 memory. And heritable, all turns add 3,000 to this Digimon's DP-based deletion effects maximum.
I like that.
Assuming you're blasting on top of this last Growlmon,
yeah,
it's already a 5,000 base deletion. So this is literally everything the War Greymon, or not the War Greymon, Metal Greymon does, but better. Like, the memes are now making sense.
Yeah, like, this is literally power creeped Metal Greymon.
Yeah.
In addition to the memory gain, like, you could still turn potentially with this.
It's like, I saw, yeah, exactly. It's a turn steal if you can pop off with it against a wide board. I saw memes that was from the Suicide Squad, whereas he does everything I do, but better. And it was, that was 2.
Yeah, he is better Metal Greymon. So his default, because of the way they worded this, it's 5,000 DP if they have any Digimon. So it's basically his floor baseline is 5. 7 if you have that Growlmon. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Gilmon has the same inheritable.
Yeah,
I think it's 2K.
So. And the OG Gigimon is like, I think 1,000 more, right?
I think that's only on your turn, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it? Okay.
The new ones are all saying all turns.
Yeah. But it seems good. Yeah, hard playing it doesn't feel super awesome unless, I guess, if you have these inheritables under your other stuff, though, I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm liking the new support.
Also on top of that, him being 5 doesn't really matter when you're going to be popping something and gaining memory.
Yeah,
for
he's really a 4, right?
He's probably a 4 at minimum, yeah.
Yeah, because you're never going to hard play just to not pop something. That would be stupid.
Yeah. In addition to the EX2 Takatos, which also gain your memory when something's deleted.
Yeah. Also, I do like how the inheritable doesn't have the condition of it being 0 memory. It just has a great increase.
I like that too.
Yeah, no restriction on it is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, these are just high qualities of the cards we already went over.
Okay, sick. Get to skip over some. Okay.
Okay, in my scrolling, these cards also have higher qualities later if you don't want to go over them now.
Excellent. So are we here then?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Skull Knightmon.
Hey, look at on sport.
This is basically a vanilla blocker and then on deletion save and heritable blocker. Cool.
That's good, Lord Nightmon sport.
Yeah. Deadly Axemon. Retail and then on deletion save and heritable reboot.
Okay.
Anyway.
Your Lord Nightmon will have reboot and blocker. That's cool.
Anyway, Dark Nightmon. Material save 1 on play / when Digivolving D-Evo 1 of your opponent's Digimon. Then if Digicrossing with 2 cards, you may delete 1 Digimon or Tamer with a play cost of 3 or less. On deletion, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with the Nightmon in its text from under any of your Tamers without paying the cost. Digicross -2, Skull Nightmon, Deadly Axemon. Inheritable on deletion, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with Nightmon in its text from your trash without paying the cost.
I mean, I like Tamer deletion.
4? Yeah, but you have to pay 4. Like, they couldn't make it slightly cheaper to where you're only playing them for 3 or something like that.
Well, the purple black Lord Nightmon plays this card for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I mean, Tamer deletion's always gonna be nice.
Yeah,
agreed.
I'm just gonna have to shift my mindset and just accept that Yellow Lord Nightmon's dead.
Yeah, especially with what we got coming later, we already know.
Yeah, I mean this seems okay. This guy's reads a lot like the other cross cards that we read earlier, where he just like kind of floats and then floats on top of like. Yeah. This seems okay. Nene Amano, 4 to play.
Hey, a Lord Nightmon memory setter.
Perhaps. It's actually... Nope, not a Lord Nightmon memory setter. She refers to Composite and Twilight specifically.
Yeah. I started reading it and I was like,
Yeah. All turns when any of your Composite or Twilight trait Digimon with the Digicross requirement will be played. By suspending this Tamer, you may also place 1 card from under any of your Tamers and 1 card from your trash for those cards Digicross.
Okay, at least grab some trash too. I think you could still use it. It just wouldn't directly affect your top end.
Yeah, you could. It just... She doesn't specifically refer to anything that I think is in Lord Nightmon's traits.
Yeah, Lord Nightmon. It doesn't refer to a knight.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Viximon, inheritable. End of your turn. Once per turn, return 1 option card with plugin in its name from your trash to the hand.
Okay.
Cool, I guess.
Recursion.
Nifty.
I think people were excited about one of these cards. I can't remember which one it is, but
I don't remember either. Cubimon. When Digivolving, if you have 1 or less Tamers, you may play 1 Rika from your hand without paying the cost. Inheritable your turn once per turn. When you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for the turn.
Now, this is the kind of support some of these decks need to start seeing, where they rely so heavily on multiple tamers, where they don't have that limit of, oh, if you don't have the tamer, play one. Like this one,
you can have multiple.
I like this one because you can continuously just keep playing out tamers.
I will say it is still limiting in some form or factor, because if you have, I don't think you would play obviously other tamers that are not named Rika, but if you have any tamers, you can't play like Rika. Like if you have an analog youth next to a Digimon Emperor, all right, you can't play Rika. Sorry, get wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely balance.
I don't think you do that.
Good.
I was gonna say I don't think you would do that in this deck, but it is a limiting factor.
Yeah, I think they did their best to try to balance this effect. We'll probably eventually get power creeped versions of this down the road, where it's just like if you don't have more than one Rika, you can play another one.
Yeah,
right.
Like the equivalent for whatever archetype it's for. But for the time being, I think they're trying to not make it too good. Yeah. Solid effect. You need her in play in order to play the game. Talmon Ace. 5 cost. On play, when digivolving, if it's your turn, you may use one single color option card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand without paying the cost. If it's your opponent's turn, for the turn, give one of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1, and that Digimon's when digivolving effects don't activate. Inheritable, when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn.
Okay, maybe this is what people were talking about. Because I guess this could technically counter a Magna X.
This plus the Cubimon is what, minus 6k so far?
Yes, but they're two different triggers. One's when attacking and one's when you use an option card.
Well, I mean, don't some of the Sakuyas like use an option card when attacking?
Rika lets you do it when you attack.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's starting to. The DP neg is starting to add up.
I mean, the deck has always had access to DP neg. That wasn't the problem.
Right.
The problem is you're playing less good Jesmon, where you're playing a bag of bricks and
bricks. Yeah, you're playing bricks with a slow win condition.
Yeah. You're playing bricks that also aren't bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this: I've liked the last 2 cards. I like this card and the QB at least.
They read good. I'll say that. Like reading them, you're like, that's good.
Yeah.
But just knowing what deck it is in, it makes me go, oh, that's bad.
Oh.
I feel like this card would be better in security control.
Probably, yeah.
Because it's just a body that cheats out an option. Like, you could play this and play Revelation of Light for free.
Yeah, I was immediately about to say Revelation.
Yeah.
You can even, it's single color. I was going to say you can't flame. Never mind.
They did their, also flame is 6 cost. They did their best to try to keep you from doing what people did with the Maiden mode, which is just cheat out, like, all kinds of stuff. Because, like, Maiden mode straight up said ignore the color requirements, and it just can't be more than 5 memory.
Yeah. So people said, oh, cool, Sunrise exists.
Yeah. We just spam this card. This card seems playable. I feel like the Wind Digivolving effect should just be both of these.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whose turn it is.
Also, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think so far all of the aces that are 5 cost also have inheritables. So maybe that's why they're differentiating between a 4 cost ace and a 5 cost ace. I can't remember the Cyberdramon, because I remember he had an inheritable.
I think he's probably 5 cost.
I can look it up real quick.
I think that their way...
I can confirm my theory.
I think they're trying to balance some of the really good aces. Like, legitimately, I think Angelomon probably should have cost 5.
Yeah.
Because I think Garudamon cost 5. And that... I mean, she plays a tamer, but, like... Who cares?
Yeah, like, ooh, watch out.
Yeah. I don't know how to say this, man.
These are just letters.
This guy.
Zhang something.
It's like Zeke?
Yeah.
Zeke? Is that how you say it? Zikemon?
It's like Zhang Mong support or something.
Yeah. On play / when evolving, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to the hand. Rule trait has aquatic type and heritable jamming.
Oh, you know what?
Okay.
It's an LM card, isn't it?
Yes, the Cybergemon, if that's what you're looking for, is an LM.
I was like, why can't I find the Bond aces either?
Yeah. They're in a specific spot.
Cross.
Okay. Huankenmon, blocker. On play / when evolving, one of your Digimon can't be deleted by battle until the end of your opponent's turn. Inheritable, your turn, this Digimon's attack target can't change.
Alright.
It's an interesting way to say it can't be redirected. I wonder what the difference is.
If there is one.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just to avoid confusion, like they're just changing the wording of it. Because if you say can't be redirected versus can't change, I feel like that might be easier to understand.
That's fair. It is simpler wording. The only difference here is like, well, I guess if the other one doesn't say but just by your opponent's effects, this is just simpler wording. That's a good point. Zhangpang, security attack +1 and blocker. When digivolving, unsuspend one of your Digimon, then place one of your other Digimon with the Aqua Sea animal in any of its traits as its Digimon's bottom source. Gain 3 memory. Rule trait has aquatic type. So you swing with a 5, gain 2 memory off the other inheritables that you have. Evo into this guy.
It's gonna have jamming.
It's gonna have jamming. Evo into this guy. Gain 3 memory back. Because this guy does Evo for 5 memory, I just realized. Jesus.
Yep. So that is 5 memory right there. 2 from the inheritables, 3 from him.
True. So effectively they're making this guy cost 0 if you swing first.
I feel like there's a better way to go about that.
Probably. And then security attack +1, so if you swing again... Were those once per turn inheritables, the gain memory? They were once per turn, right?
I can check.
No, it just said end of attack, gain 1 memory. Not once per turn.
Did it really?
I'm still going to go check.
Yeah.
That was an oversight. Normally I recognize when effects can be abused if they're not once per turn.
They are indeed once per turn.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Chris is a dirty liar. Got it.
A dirty liar. Don't read your cards. You only have an approximate knowledge.
Exactly.
This guy's okay. I mean, you're playing into ace cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. Cool. Gizamon. Eva's on top of Pagumon for 0, otherwise purple or black for 1. On play, by trashing 1 card with the Composite or Wicked God trait in your hand, draw 2, inheritable blocker. So setting up for the Wicked God Millennium on deck. Deltamon. Evo's on top of Gazimon or Gizamon for 2 memory, otherwise purple or black for 3. On play / when evolving / on deletion, not once per turn. By trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, inheritable blocker.
Oh, okay. Thought that was going to be a little better than it was, but I mean,
you
okay.
would think. Okay, like stop scrolling. Gilmon, start of your main phase. If you have Takato or Kalumon, gain 1 memory. Inheritable, all turns while you have 0 or less memory, add 2,000 to this Digimon's EP based deletion effects maximums.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. We have a new Shademon.
I saw some people popping off about the new Kalumon. Also, okay. Yeah, alright. I was going to say, I wonder if that card is 4 cost or 3 cost. I couldn't quite see its cost. But the Gilmon is 3.
Oh, yeah. I would hope. Shademon, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with the Twilight or Composite trait among them to the hand. Trash the rest. On deletion, you may play 1 Nene Amano from your trash without paying the cost, then save. Rule trait has Composite type. Digicross -2 Nene Amano. You Digicross this with a Tamer.
Huh.
Probably some lore reason. Probably something happened in the show.
Yeah, it must be. This
Yeah,
isn't
don't
I
an
ask me,
watched
I
obligation.
have no idea.
I watched the first season of it. I think there's a second that I never watched. So I'm well. I don't even know if I finished the first season. So I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this all seems weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like how you can trash the security. Oh, wait. Trash the rest. Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay. Moon.
I was
We're
right.
reading ahead.
A little bit.
Moon Millenniumon. So is this not Zed Millenniumon, or is it? Are they different?
If I remember correctly, I think this is his like almost like Lucemon, where it's this pre-release, I think, or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like how Lucemon has different forms, even if he's in like, he's got the giant dragon Satan mode.
Yeah.
You know that. I think this is something similar.
Yeah, because it looks like he's locked up in that crystal.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll operate under the assumption this is not Zed Millenniumon. Moon Millenniumon. Evil's on top of Millenniumon for 2 memory. Otherwise, Evil's on top of purple level 6s for 5 memory. On play / when devolving, your opponent trashes cards in their hand so that 5 remain. For every 2 cards trashed by this effect, delete 1 of their tamers. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area by deleting 1 of your Digimon with the composite trait it doesn't leave. All turns once per turn when other Digimon or tamer are deleted, trash your opponent's top security card.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I like that.
This card literally said, "Oh, you guys have Paladin mode to counter us? Okay, well we have this to counter blue."
That is true, because you just like, okay, dump your hand into your trash. Now your trash is full.
Yeah.
Bye. I mean, I will say, on the plus side, if you get hit by this, at least you get to pick what 5 cards you keep. It's not like random.
I mean, yeah, there's a silver lining, I guess.
It's not going to feel super good to get hit by.
No,
But
not at
at least
all.
you're not going to have an unplayable hand. I mean, you might, but...
Hey, this card directly counters cross.
It does. Maybe I'll just play it in my... Maybe I'll just give you 10 memory and be like, hey.
Well, cross is gonna need like, they normally have like 4 plus tamers on the board. You activate this, and then if their hand's full, you just trash their whole hand till 5, pop all their tamers, trash all their security, swing for game.
You don't trash. It's once per turn.
One.
So just trash 1 security card. But I think it effectively would in the game, because they'd be drawing to 6 cards for turn, and their board would be cleared.
Right.
Assuming they don't have Digimon on the field, but I would assume you would out those before you did this. This guy seems pretty good.
Whee!
Funbimon. I'm surprised we haven't seen this yet.
Let's go.
Well, this is our second B.
Okay, so this is our
one.
other rookie. Okay.
Yeah, we saw one for 18, and now this is the other one for 19.
Evo's on top of level 2 with Royal Base trait for 0. Otherwise, green or black for 1. Security, all turns, all of your Royal Base trait Digimon gain 1000 DP. And then his regular effect, your turn when this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Royal Base trait, reduce the Evo cost by 1. Inheritable all turns, this Digimon gets 1000 DP.
I feel like this deck is going to be so massive. Because they all give DP when in security, and then like the inheritables are given DP, like...
Yeah.
You're going to be a big
Bees.
Big B's. Then we have an option, Hornet Eraser. Main, you may place 1 Royal Base trait Digimon card from your trash face up as your bottom security card, then delete up to 8 play cost total worth of your opponent's Digimon. For each of your face up security cards, add 2 to the maximum play cost you may choose with this effect. Security activate this card's main effect.
I mean, for an 8 cost option, that's pretty solid removal.
Maybe if you have 2 in security, it's a 12 cost.
Yeah, because I mean, your Tama's putting 1 in, then you're going to have this card's putting in. You could potentially just wipe a wide board.
Yeah, I mean, this basically is base 10 play cost total.
Yeah.
Bare minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming you have a card to tuck.
Yeah, it is from your trash. This seems pretty solid. I wish it included tamers. I think that would be nasty.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And relevant since this is cross. But yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to have potential. It's also recovery effectively as well.
Yeah.
True.
It's recovery without being recovery.
Yeah. Monotamon, on deletion, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Among them, add 1 card with Nightmon in its text or the Twilight trait to the hand and place 1 such card under any of your tamers. Put the rest on the bottom of the deck and heritable reboot.
Okay, just good Lord Nightmon support.
Another purple-black Lord Nightmon. It's got Dynus and Leopard behind him. Interesting. Or is that... No, that's Craniumon, I think, actually. Yeah, sorry, that's Craniumon. I was like, that looks really big for Dynus. Evos for 3 on top of purple or black. On play / when evolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. I guess it's nice that it's not limited to the archetype, so you can play it in Royal Knights.
But you're also not playing a level 5.
Yes.
Bit of a downgrade there.
Opponent's turn. Once per turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon attack, you may change the attack target to one of your Digimon with the Royal Knight trait.
Okay.
So it's blocking without blocking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this works as the new like Nightmon, Lord Nightmon deck or whatever, the Twilight Lord Nightmon, while also being like okay Royal Knight support as well.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean. You're popping off, right? What's that next card right there? You're excited, right? Right?
I'm so sad, dude.
You've waited 84 years for this card.
I have literally waited 3, I think, maybe 4 actually. I think it's 4 years. Because I think we got BT5 like around this time in 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you didn't know about X antibodies at that point, right? I don't think it was until BT9 where you started being like, oh, we can get like extra forms.
True. That is correct. I technically wasn't aware of its existence until like I think BT9 started getting talked about. All right, Lord Nightmon X antibody, finally here.
Yeah, Sean's so excited.
Evo's on top of Lord Nightmon for 1. Otherwise, Evo's on purple or black for 4 memory. Has collision and piercing, which is a pretty sick combination.
That's true.
I hope the alt art looks better than this because, like, while this looks cool, the way that he's angled at the camera, you can't really like look at his design.
Yeah.
When did
real
Digivolving
Gundam looking?
Do what?
As real Gundam looking.
Yes, he is. When Digivolving, de-evo 1 of your opponent's Digimon for each of your Digimon. So when I read this, I first wasn't really sure how this works. I think this can target as many Digimon as you want, but I'm not 100% sure because the wording is a little odd. It could just
That's how I read it.
It could just be single targeting. But I hope that it's you can target as many things as possible, which is a pretty disgusting effect.
Agreed.
Then one of your opponent's Digimon can't Digivolve until the end of their turn, so this plays around aces in addition to stopping your opponent doing stuff on their turn.
Which I think we all agreed Black needs to start doing stuff like this where it's stopping your opponent from playing.
Yes. All turns, if Lord Nightmon or X anybody is in this Digimon's sources, all of your Digimon with Nightmon in their text gain Alliance and get 3,000 DP.
I mean, you can still technically play this.
You can play this in Yellow Lord Nightmon. The issue with that is that deck doesn't really exist anymore. It's unfortunately just too clunky now, especially like the version that I was playing, like BT14 TK got limited. It's like you can't even really do that one anymore.
Yeah.
This
when
card,
the TK hits you in other decks too.
Yeah. That was my biggest gripe with that card getting hit rather than Magna X was the fact that it like kneecaps a lot of other decks that just use that engine. This card is really good. I do actually like its effect, and it's actually kind of close to what I theorized Lord Nightmon X would do, except for some of his effects are, instead of being yellow based, they're black based. So they're slightly different, but like functionally the same.
I think they could have gotten away with making this 3-color. I don't know if there's anything that would have broken that.
Making it to where it could be played in yellow decks.
Yeah, make it yellow, purple, black. I mean, you're going to tell me Emperor Greymon and Magnagaru can be 3-color.
That's a good point, Brandon.
Nightmon X couldn't be 3-color.
Yeah, I feel like they should have thrown us a bone since we haven't actually had support for that deck besides the one Nightmon promo. And
I will say,
guess you can say Valk.
I will say I did call it having Alliance. So that was big brain. But
yeah, once you suggested that, I agreed that was definitely an effect that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And instead of lowering your opponent's DP, it just makes all your dudes bigger.
Yeah.
My theory was it would lower all your opponent's field.
Yeah, you wanted ruin mode. We know.
Yeah, because it was yellow. If this is multi-targeting, like if this Evo effect is multi-targeting, this card is pretty disgusting.
Yeah. We'll just have to figure it out. Damien, let us know.
Yeah.
You know stuff.
Yes. Please let us know. I am happy with this card. It is a pretty good... It's not like...
It's one Digimon, because look, it says D-Digivolve, right?
One of the opponent's Digimon.
One, and then parentheses, and then it says one, right?
The Evo one of your opponent's Digimon for each of your Digimon.
Yeah, it's one Digimon.
Yeah. If it's only one Digimon, this isn't as good, but it's still a pretty strong effect. This basically just ends the game.
Wording. Yeah, I think Chris is right.
Like if you have,
I think he is too. That's what I assumed it was originally.
Yeah, if it's like 3 Digimon, you have 3 Digimon, you're de-digivolving that one Digimon 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
That's still super strong. De-digivolve is one of the best removals, period.
It's still really good, especially when you can target 2 different things with this effect. So like you can de-evo one stack and then say another stack can't evo. So you can play completely around aces and then swing with massive dudes that have Alliance, Collision, and Piercing.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, I legitimately will try to build this. Hopefully all of it's in 2.0, and they don't, like, cuck us and make us wait for, like, Lord Nightmon X in 2.5.
God, imagine they print this, right? And they're like, hey, here's Lord Nightmon in 2.0. Here's Lord Nightmon X in 2.5. That would be the biggest dick move.
That would suck.
If it's all in 2.0, and once it is confirmed, I will be very excited when we get 2.0. Because I do want to build this deck. This does actually seem good now.
Yeah.
My original like unhappiness with it was the fact that it wasn't the yellow deck support, in addition to Twilight being historically just bad. But this support's pretty good.
That's a really good reprint. We're getting the RB1.
It is. It's unfortunate
After
that
they hit the deck.
they limited the Nume X. So like this deck, this is a little late.
Hey, but if you're a fan of the deck, you're still happy, right?
Yeah, I mean that there are true fans that were not like just playing it to get their invites.
That's why I'm playing it.
Yeah, like that one guy that Ben lost to playing Nume, that like his entire like his screen name was Nume, his mat was Nume. Like that guy deserves these reprints.
Yes.
Funny enough, I haven't seen this one recently, but I remember after the ban list was posted, after a couple of days, RB1 Monzu was like less than $5.
Oh. People dumped them. They said, all right, this tech's not tier 1 anymore. Get it out of here.
If somebody top 16s with Nume in Dallas, it could potentially go back up to maybe 10-ish, but I think its days of being a $20 bill are probably gone.
I think it's just going to be one of those things where I don't think this deck is going to see a whole lot of representation just because it got hit. So people are just going to be like, all right, we'll put the deck off to the side and play something that's clearly just stronger, like the blue decks, blue the format, as Sean likes to say.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like
shift away from it.
I think it's like Bilzamon, where whenever Bilzamon was full power, it was like most of the top tables because everyone was playing it, and then once
they hit it, and everybody was like, ah.
Yeah, they're like, this deck sucks now, even though it was still good. Like it did not
super strong.
Yeah, it did not impact the deck as much as people thought it did, and so like yeah. We'll see about that though. I don't know how
they really topped a regional with Beals after that.
Mm-hmm. Ben has topped, I think, multiple events since the hit happened.
Yeah.
As recently as this year.
It's gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be like a mental thing.
Yeah. Darulumon. On play, this Digimon may digivolve into Jaeger Darulumon under any of your tamers without paying the cost. On deletion, save, inheritable, your turn this Digimon with the Cross Heart trait gains piercing.
Okay. Alright, here's the green.
Different colors. He's yellow and green.
Yeah. Well, you already have yellow, I think, with the red guys.
With Sparrow.
Yeah.
No, Sparrow was the black purple one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Shoutmon is red yellow.
Yeah. Omni Shoutmon is red yellow.
Yeah. Okay, so we're adding green.
All right, and we got Jaeger. Interesting.
Don't forget with collision, they'll not also have piercing.
Oh yeah, nice. So collision and piercing. Okay. This card is also treated as Darulumon for a Digicross. On play, when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of their Digimon can't activate when digivolving effects and doesn't unsuspend until the end of their turn. On deletion, you may place one Digimon card with the Crossheart or Blue Flare trait from your hand or trash under any of your tamers. Inheritable, yours from this Digimon with the Crossheart trait gains piercing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're just going to go through a checklist. We're going to go through a checklist of keywords to give this this boss monster.
Yeah, this effect's really good. The ability to keep them from activating when digivolving is strong because of aces, but yeah, also locking them is good.
It's the end of their turn too, so
yeah,
it's a persistent.
All right, this is the new Kalumon, which is actually pretty interesting. I still don't know if I would.
I saw people popping off.
Yeah, I don't know if I would play it in any of my decks because it's effectively a brick, but it is an interesting effect. I will say it's definitely better in my opinion than the other one.
I will say I love the art.
I was gonna say I do really like this artwork. This actually goes pretty hard.
This is very adorable.
Yes,
agreed. It's awesome.
So security. You may play one Digimon card with 2,000 DP or less from your hand without paying the cost. So that's a security Digimon. Main, by suspending this Digimon, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card from your hand with the deletion cost reduced by 2. All turns this Digimon can't attack or block. On deletion, place this card as your top security card.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Set himself up.
Yeah, so like this, you basically can play this out for free once one is in security. If you're playing multiples, you could play the rest out for free, or you could play out your rookies or whatever. I still wouldn't play this card probably because it's just a brick that reduces, like, I don't know. You're paying 3 memory to get back 2 memory, assuming that you didn't play this for free.
I'm putting up. I'm picking up what you're putting down. It just seems like a little more. It reads as win more without actually winning more.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's pseudo win more.
Yeah.
I do like the artwork, but I think they need to stop making all decks Jesmon, because that just makes them worse. New Entmon. Okay. On play, if you have one or fewer tamers, you may play one purple tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less from your trash without paying the cost. Inheritable retail. Disgusting.
So now they can recycle their Iron Makos that get trashed. Nice. So dumb.
At least it costs 4 memory, like you're going to be
playing it for free.
Yeah, like you're going to be paying for it. Lol.
What?
This is really good.
I will say I'm happy this card itself does not mill, but it's still very good.
It is good that it's not hand or trash, but still, this is a very good effect. And now that effectively the starter deck Entmon kind of got replaced because you have the Iron Mako that lets you warp anyway, I think you probably replace starter deck Entmon with this guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Beelzemon.
God, I wish we had Ben on here so we can get his thoughts on this, on these cards. He would have a much better understanding, I feel like.
He told us last night he liked them.
Yeah, he was like, "What do you think of this one?" And I was like, "What does it do?" And he told me, and I was like, "That sounds really stupid." And he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah. Beelzemon, on play / when digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Then this Digimon gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. All turns, once per turn, when an effect trashes from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon.
Damn. Normally, it would be like on a worst card, it'd be a level 4.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd have the room for it, but what I'm thinking is like, because the new version effectively swings with 5s that float into your Bilzamons, this is another target that you could play defensively. Like, instead of aggroing with the rush one, you could play this guy out and he mills more cards, potentially blow something up, and also like I have a blocker on the field that you have to deal with.
Man, I just feel like we have better Beelzemon. Like, I didn't read this and go, oh man, this card's good. I read this and thought, oh, this card's fine.
Yeah, this card's not as good as the ones they have already.
Yeah,
like
that's
the Demon Lord one. I think is better.
That's what I'm wondering is like, would this make
play?
Yeah, would this make sense? Because you have so many good ones, like you guys are saying. I don't know if you would make room for this. Maybe as a one of potentially, but like I would probably rather have the rush one in my trash. But like, I don't know.
It's one of those things where would you rather run this as a one of, or would you rather just cut it and have a more consistent Beals? Because this card only mills 2.
Well,
I feel like there are Beals that mill way more for way better effects.
It seems like the opposite of what the deck does. Like, giving it blockers seems it's more reactive instead of being proactive and more aggressive than what it wants to do. You know what I mean?
Good point. Card sucks.
Yeah, that's the last one.
Yeah, I think maybe because it blows up level 5 or lowers, you could potentially be playing around aces. But other than that, yeah, I agree. The blocker's kind of pointless.
That's the best part of the card is the blowing up of level 5s.
Yeah. Comment questions. JJR Beniz 07. This is Benjamin, for those of you that aren't aware. Another comment question. Y'all ever seeing the deck size limit changing for the game? Excited about the new build stuff, but I'm more limited by deck size than options. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he probably sees a version of Beals that plays that Beals, but like, it's really hard to fit everything in the deck now. And the Impmon and the Iron Mako.
I think it's
like 50. Yeah, I agree. I think 50 is perfect.
Because like that way you're forced to abide by a strict structure. We don't want a situation that comes up with like Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, where people were playing. If you guys have ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, you will know of the card. The grass is greener. And it was kind of degenerate because you would just show up with a 60 card deck, excavate all your cards, or mill if you know, and it was super degenerate for you to have an advantage like right off the rip. I don't know if that would ever come into factor with us, but like, I just don't see it being something that they implement personally.
I would be surprised if they did increase it, but I have had this thought before, because like there are decks much like the Beals deck now because of the support where like I would have wanted to put more cards in than I could actually fit, and I've wondered like I wonder if they'd ever increase it, but I feel like the answer is probably no.
I could see us getting a side deck before they increase deck size.
Yeah, and I honestly think side decking this point is probably like not gonna happen, but I do agree that would happen before deck size.
Mm-hmm.
Like what would you think would they increase it to? Just 60?
Probably 60. I think that's the cap in most of the big card games. I think I think Pokemon's a standard size like we are. Yeah. And Yu-Gi-Oh is 60. Magic I think is standard 60 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's probably not going to change, but I think if they did change it, it would be 60 would be the limit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like how it's a consistent 50, because then you also, if you're playing against like a blue deck, for example, they always have to worry about decking out.
Yeah.
Because last night, I think I did deck out against Chris because the game was so grindy.
Yeah, that is a major concern. Because like halfway through the game, because you draw so much, like it's very easy to deck yourself out if you have like any amount of extra draw power searching.
Also, imagine like decks like Security Control having extra cards in deck now, and then they still play Avenged Kidmon.
Well, they would. I think you would play Paladin mode at this point now.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Agreed. But yeah, the game would never end.
Yeah. I actually really liked this comment, and I think it's a good idea. You guys should really start a series called Beyond Broken, where you play decks with restricted ban cards of full power against current meta decks to see if the cards are still beyond broken. Would be hilarious as hell to watch. Also, greetings from Finland. I randomly found your show and have been listening to it ever since. Cheers and keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do really like that when I read that the other day. I think that could definitely find its way onto the channel. I like that idea a lot.
Imagine doing like full power. Imagine doing like full power yellow hybrid versus like full power like Magna X or something like that.
I was thinking one of the
Susano.
One of the first matches I thought of would have been full power Blackboard Grandma versus full power Cross Art, because weren't those at the same time?
Blackboard Grandma without the Blackboard X support was during Cross Art. I can tell you the answer to that. Blackboard Grandma wins.
Well, yeah, of course.
Assuming Cross Art doesn't open just the absolute nuts on you.
It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, even then, I think it's heavily Blackboard's favor.
The way I built my list in BT10, I was playing Megadramon, Black War, and Omnimon Zwart Defeat. I was killing all of the Tamers.
Tamers? Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, exactly. The answer is no.
Anubis full power versus like
oh god
another
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. No, we already
that wouldn't be fun to watch. Yeah, I definitely like that idea. I'll have to figure out like what matchups would make sense, but Melga, yeah.
Can you let me play full power Melga again with four promo?
Yeah, I would want it to be with people that are familiar with the deck. So like Ben would be using Anubis, you would be using Melga.
Imagine how strong I would be with 4 promo, 4 Garuex, 4 Gabuek.
We don't have to. Oh, that's right. You would have 4 promos.
I did a long time ago, right after Cross 4 got hit. I was like, I just don't understand why they hit this card. And then I had the deck built, and I played against Brandon. I killed him in 1 turn. I said, never mind, I get it now.
So you admit it.
You admit it.
You admit it.
Yeah, back then, that was forever ago.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever. God, I would be unstoppable.
Devin Dedis 731. This is just 3 hours of Ben proving they're the smartest person in the call. Well, we know where your loyalty stands.
You probably like purple decks too, don't you?
What did Ben say that was so smart, huh?
I don't know. This guy clearly just hates Magnavax as a card or as a deck. Anyone who thinks Magnavax was super cancerous for the format because they didn't realize it was just holding back the floodgate of blue are just going to agree with basically everything Ben said.
Tell me you're a blue fan without telling me you're a blue fan.
Or tell me you don't realize that it's just going to be blue the format because Magnavax is dead.
As somebody who likes blue, I think that's great.
Yeah. Vaughn Wafer 12. Magnamon is the reason I play Mirage in a competitive environment, and hearing Sean speak about that very matchup while going over the TK hit, LOL. Your deck was and still has a chance to be cracked even with the hit. Mirage probably deserves some type of third hit. Just don't take BT11 Mirage away or BT13 Mach so I can swing around your Magna, LOL. I will say, after thinking about it, I think BT11 Mirage actually makes the most sense. Because you still have BT4 Mirage, which still gains you the same amount of memory, is unblockable. It just doesn't have removal baked into it, and it's not all turns memory gain.
It makes the deck more fragile, easier to break.
Well, it makes the deck less
control-y.
Yeah, like it doesn't turn into a control deck magically.
It also doesn't magically turn the game into, hey, I just found this degenerate loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like there's new loops coming out now, and they're enabled by Mirage. I just think Mirage is poorly designed, and I think it's probably going to go to 1 in the not too distant future.
I think it's limited. Like it's doing what they hit other cards for. It's limiting further game design.
Yes.
Period.
It is. And it's really annoying. Like, so Mirage can promote, bounce your level 5 or whatever, not kill you, and then just be like, okay, your turn. Oh, you have effects that happen that just draw cards. Okay, it's my turn again.
Yeah, it's my turn again. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Like, you can't trigger. This is just an example that immediately pops in my head. It's really niche. You couldn't trigger like your analog mans because you just like pass turn.
Yeah, potentially
over. Yeah.
Yeah. They also said, edit, couldn't disagree more on the level 6 Mirage being hit as well. It's a great card. I do think the all turn should be your turn, but if you hit that Mirage deck is
broken.
Yeah. But if you hit that Mirage, deck is probably done. There's not a single other Mirage that is worth running whatsoever. I disagree. I think you would just replace it with BT4. BT13 is okay.
Who cares?
BT13.
They've hit other cards that have completely killed decks.
That is true. Yeah.
For less.
Yes. BT13 is okay at best in a hybrid
still
heavy
limited,
format.
Guys.
Do what?
The Gray X is still limited.
True.
Come on.
Alphamon was dead once they hit Doru. Killed the deck.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was for more.
Jessamon died when that card got hit.
Yes.
For less.
Yes. That bounce to level 5 security matters quite a bit if you ask me. Hit the deck somewhere else and choice restrict the loop. Love the content, even though I disagree with that specific take. LOL, appreciate the podcast, fellas. Thank you.
I think the problem is you're approaching this as a Mirage player.
Yes.
So you don't want your deck to take a serious hit.
You're unable to look at it objectively, which is reasonable. It is hard to step outside of your own biases.
That's like me as a Melga player telling you guys that I think the Garu X hit was unwarranted. They just had to change the card to where it's more generic. Or less generic, I mean.
Yeah, maybe they'll print a new one for you at some point.
I think it's only a matter of time before we both get new level 4 X antibodies that are...
I feel like ours is archetype specific enough to where they could give it back to us. They're just being dumb.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Jerks.
Like, you're telling me Blue Hybrid can warp into a Mega for effectively 1 memory, but I can't have a guy lets me evo into a level 5 for 1 memory? Okay.
Okay,
thanks, Bandai.
Yeah, thanks. Very cool. Pierre Cineus, I'm sure I'm butchering that. I apologize. Sup, gentlemen. I wanted to hear Omni4Game's thoughts on bunnies. Rapid X, Mega Gargo, Truby, Ace top end. I feel like it is surprisingly aggressive and manages board presence efficiently. I'm specifically curious to weakness that I may be overlooking within the BT17 meta. Otherwise, I'd like to express my gratitude. I cannot speak. My gratitude for the content. I actually play smarter thanks to the general knowledge of the game you guys dispense. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think Bunnies is alright. Shruby Ace is a pretty good card.
Mega Gargo is a good card.
Mega Gargo.
Yeah, I agree.
I know the answer.
Mega Gargo actually has a really good matchup, specifically into like the Omnimon deck, for example, because you can just make it to where you can't get DNA'd. That's actually kind of broken.
I think the weakness of that deck is the fact that it loses to blue.
Yeah. I mean, you only have that 1 turn of protection with your rapid.
Yeah, the BT5 rapid only goes so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems pretty fragile.
It's really good versus red and purple, I would say, just because you have armors and stuff. But it hard loses to blue and DP reduction because you don't have protection from that. Besides the rapid mon single turn effect.
Yeah. I think we're going into a format where blue and yellow are going to be the top tier contenders, especially blue.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a result of the format, if you will.
Yeah. It probably would.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say it probably wouldn't have been as bad as pre-ban list, but post-ban list, because it's basically just going to be like a sea of blue. I think it's just probably just going to have it's going to be a bad meta call.
Yeah.
The deck is good,
I was going to be wrong.
Yeah.
We'd have to talk to Ben. Ben's also an expert with the bunny deck.
I think he'd probably agree.
Yeah. There's probably a reason he's not actively playing it right now.
Yeah, the deck is good. Like, it has... The DP reduction's really good. It has board control. It has spitting out bodies, alliance, all that stuff.
DP neg, yeah.
Yeah, the issues is just the matchups that you would run into would just hard counter all of your stuff.
I mean, it's still stupid nasty that you can Mega Gargo on top of Rapid X. Like,
yeah.
When Ben did that to me the first time, I was like, no, you can't do that.
Let me read your card.
You can. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, you can. Yeah.
I will say, like, it's one of those decks I think you could take to a locals and just absolutely wombo everybody and stomp them, like, have fun, have a good night. But I think if you're bringing it to a super major event like a regional, I don't think it's going to be, like, super up there if your placements, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's probably going to
It's a solid, it's like top of tier 2 deck, right?
Yeah.
I would agree. That's a good point. It's a very good locals deck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Assuming that not everyone in your locals is playing, like, S tier, tier 1 decks.
Yeah. If you have that one guy who only plays S tier decks, he's just like, this is the best deck now.
Sorry.
I wouldn't say you're that person. You mess around more.
Yeah, that's true. I like decks if I like them, and then I'll play them. If they happen to be best deck in format or S tier, that's everyone else's problem.
That's not my problem.
B Dunback. I'll say it. X antibody decks are way too slow and require you to have the perfect stacks, and even if you put promo Were Garu to 4, no different when Tommy went to 4 and people freaked out. Power creep is a factor. In fact, I would love to see you boys have a matchup video of the decks versus the current meta. Melga with 4 promo Were Garu or Alphamon with 4 Doru Gray versus the current meta stuff. Because even though the decks have a win condition, I bet you they don't have the consistency to build a good enough stack to win that favors them in the win percentage. I have no problem as a player of those decks to say the game has grown in a way that shit won't fly. Nostalgia, get over it. For Cross 4 to come back, unfortunately the new Cross Heart stuff is coming out, so there's no way to tell how good the deck is even without it. I
agree with this guy. Bring Were Garu to 4.
This reads like, it sounds like you played in those formats, but this reads like someone who did not experience those formats. So I'm curious if you did not play in BT9/BT10 whenever those decks were at full power.
Yeah, let me check.
What's Alpha gonna do? What's Alpha gonna do to a Magna X?
Yeah, what's Alpha gonna do when they promote a level 4 and OTK you through 5 security with a level 7?
Just
like,
you do the
what
same
are they
thing.
gonna do?
It just you promote a Patamon going to Magna X, and then what's that Alphamon gonna do?
So I think a lot of people forget what the play line for the Were Garu X was.
Yeah, they do. They also obviously forget how Alphamon worked.
So the Were Garu, the Were Garu allowed you to check all 5 security just at your level 5, because you would go Were Garu, swing, unsuspend, Puck X antibody, swing, X Evo, unsuspend. Your checks go through, so that's 2 more. Swing with the level 5 again, that's the last 2. Mm-hmm. Now, the downside was you would have to go into EX1, gain the memory, keep turn, and then go into Melga X to unsuspend swing per game. We now have access to Melgas that Evo for free.
Yep.
So you're guaranteed, and a X antibody that lets you unsuspend again.
Yes.
As an inheritable.
Yeah, y'all are lucky it's at 1.
It's hyper aggressive. If I had that car at 4, Melga probably becomes tier 1 immediately.
Yep.
Immediately.
Especially when Magnavax isn't really a deck anymore, because there's not like a wall that tries to stop you from doing that.
Yeah. And especially like if in that case, I don't think I'd play Gabumons. I think I'd only play jamming.
The jamming. Yep. I was just thinking the jammings.
Yeah.
Yep.
You would really need him
because at that point, the only battle protection you're worried about is if somebody's blocking you.
Yeah.
And
you'd
also be so memory efficient. I could probably get away with playing more copies of the plugin.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. If you're a scumbag like Brandon who's gonna be like, okay, I won't be affected by blockers either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also, I was going to say Alphamon, I think, would probably also play high-speed plugin, because they can gain enough memory to where they can pay you memory. And that card ignores color requirements if you have a tamer.
And then, of course, the level 6 we'd be playing. I don't think you'd play BT15, because you wouldn't need the 3 swings he can do.
Nope.
You could just play Ace. And Ace also has built-in removal.
Yeah.
So you're going to be trying to clear their board as well to aggro out the game.
I will say, I think Alphamon would still be insanely broken. I think potentially, because ace cards exist, although they still can disrupt your board, Melga might be a little less good, but probably wouldn't affect it too much unless you got like a Magna X style effect where like you could confirm ace them. Alphamon wouldn't care though.
Yeah. I think with Melga it just happens because I remember it like it was yesterday because I have PTSD.
Yeah.
How early you can do it with the Melga, like how quickly you can do it, like before you can even respond.
Yeah, now imagine I also have access to training cards now to make it more consistent.
Yeah, like I literally remember times where he'll just promote a Digimon. Like his first turn will be like Hatch, Digivolve Gabu, Digivolve into Garu.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, follow-up turn. If you gave him 3 memory, he's killing you.
Yeah. I remember that as well.
Yeah, so no thanks.
Yeah, pass. Hard pass. I'm willing to put that on the channel, but that card...
Yeah. It's already on the channel. I'm sure you have video of him doing it to you somewhere.
I'm sure.
Somewhere.
In the archives.
One-Eyed Burrito 8125. Just want your guys' opinions, Ben included. What are your thoughts on unrestricted EX2 Imp? I ask because I've heard from multiple people in the community that it can. Personally, as a Bills enthusiast, I believe that it will make the deck too strong again, to the point where it can turn 2 to 3 OTK your opponent arguably more consistently than Tamagotchi mode.
Yes. Okay. So Ben is screaming, yes, give it back to us. Okay, that's his opinion. Our opinion is it can't come back. They hit the wrong card. Hit Iron Mako, you can bring it back.
If you gave it that back, you'd have to take something else away.
So Ben actually is able to look at it objectively, and I've talked to him about this before, and he agrees that it would definitely make Bills really, really good, and probably to the point where it's like S tier again. The issue is that card is so generic that it is too good in purple decks from here until the end of time, and it's only going to get better.
Okay. Do you think it's also just the fact of it being too generic?
Oh, sorry. Was that I thought you were going to say something after that.
No. Yeah. It's good in Beals, and also because it's going to be generic going forward.
Yeah, there's two reasons. One, it's basically like Eismon, where like it's just really good generic purple support.
Right.
Because like it just needs to be milled. It doesn't have to do anything else besides just hit your trash from the deck. But yeah, I think it's just too generic, and it would make Billsmon too good again. I'm sure Ben would enjoy it if it got back to 4, but he would agree that it would definitely be a mistake.
Yeah, Ben would be like, oh, I'm not going to complain, it's back.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain, but they shouldn't have done this. Johnny Stevens, 259. I was so mad about the TK hit. Same. Chris could just play Tyrant if he wants to play a good green deck. Since the decks that killed it slowed down some, Tyrant can just ignore both hybrid decks and Mirage since it's unaffected by their Digimon effects and they can redirect attacks instead of block. They also usually don't play removal options.
True.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. Tyrant is probably a decent meta call in this format. Although if you're a smart blue player, you'd probably try to account for that with some form of removal option so you don't just get like hard walled by Tyrant.
Yeah.
I think the problem with Tyrant is it just
clunky.
Not just clunky, but like the kill with that deck it's kind of slow.
Yeah, its win condition is very slow.
Yeah. And I don't want to go into game 3 and turns every round. My brain will be fried.
That is true. It is nice playing decks that just have like, I'm gonna kill you. It's gonna be pretty quick.
My win con.
Yep. If for some reason that doesn't happen, it means you killed me first. So either way, these matches are going to be very quick. Mox Moonstone. Do we really care if Imperial gets slapped with hits until it actually matches the average deck? They're still going to figure out a way to suspend the board indefinitely and make 8 swings anyways. Might as well make them pay memory for it.
I still think you should just hit the Davison Ken.
I think all of those tamers at some point will probably get looked at down the road, but Davison Ken has so much support already that I think it's way too good. Also, I think HPD needs to go to 0. Like, what the hell? Just hit it to 0. It's just as good as Digimon Fusion.
Yeah, the Davison Ken just generates way too much free value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too good. Like, if DNAs didn't exist and work the way they do, I would say it's fine, because it's just going to bounce the Digimon back to your hand if you don't kill me, which also would suck, because, like, if you're dead, I don't care about it bouncing. But the fact that there's no drawback to the card because DNAs are a thing. And obviously that was the point of the design of it, but still. Mox Moonstone, I'm all for a no banless format, honestly. Keep one balanced and let the other one run wild. You don't want that.
Yeah, imagine they're like, alright, for this next Ulti Cup, it's going to be no restrictions.
It would just be...
If there were no restrictions, okay, what would be the number 1 deck?
I think it'd probably be Apocalypse. It could actually potentially be Melga. I don't know how fast full power Apocalypse gets established, but I know full power Melga would be hyper consistent,
like very fast.
Probably just turn to Lethal You if they don't check it.
Would it be that, or
remember, if we're doing 0 restrictions, I'm gonna have Garu X as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, damn. Okay, so it'd definitely be Melga.
It would be purple, the format, probably, because you're going to have Anubis, Apocalypse, Melga. You're probably also going to easily have access to black with Doru.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think if there's any control-style decks, like a yellow hybrid, that could maybe keep up.
It would have to be security control. It would have to be, like, the counter, like, because Melga wouldn't have...
Security control would keep Melga in bay.
The issue with that is they would lose to Apocalypse.
They would lose to Apocalypse.
It would be the rock, paper, scissors of nightmares.
yeah.
It's a rock, paper, scissors of who can be more toxic.
Yeah, that does not sound like a fun format at all.
No thanks. All right, next question.
Like, your matches would be very quick, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like OG Modern Warfare 2. Where their development mentality was, if everything's broken, nothing's broken. And that just seems like it's a toxic environment to go to.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun format. I wouldn't want to play in that. Psycho Applesauce Eater 8569. I'm pissed. I just wanted to read this. I'm pissed Cherubian Alliance wasn't hit.
Who hurt you?
Yeah, show us on the doll where Cherubian Alliance touched you.
Alliance is just like a keyword.
The keyword, yeah. Ban Alliance. I'm assuming they're talking about like the bunny deck.
Yeah.
He definitely has someone at his locals that just abuses him with
100%. He has a bin at his locals that doesn't play anything other than bunnies.
Yeah.
Have you considered maybe just playing Melga and telling their cards they can't suspend? Or Vicmon.
Yeah. Mox Moonstone, shout out to Alan. He has my Omni.
Who?
Alan. I just remembered that Alan, the guy that came last week, didn't come this week. The max rarity Melga player.
Oh, okay, nice.
Huh?
I said heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Hachiko 42. Finally, all the Ninja Turtles are together in one place.
Remember, because there was that comment from a while ago when they're all a turtle.
Yeah.
A D Lacey 1895. Chris is the fallen hero now. Hot banless takes. I'm down to watch an unlimited format between you guys. Question. Last Sunday, I had a terrible locals playing Armor Vax. Bring TK back, LOL. I agree. But
Me too, buddy.
But I had one godlike game. For context, I was trying a similar build to Sean's, pushing up Paddle with 4 Rapids in hand. Surely I don't have one in security. I hit the 1 starter Rapid in security, then proceed to do memory combo. I believe I drew into Awakening or the Magna X, doesn't matter. Turn 2 Magna X, choke to 1 with Digimon Emperor. Opponent has Uko and Raising, can't move. My turn again. Blah blah blah. Emperor again. My opponent was bricking playing Ancient Gray. What is a game where you just shut your opponent out? Thanks, guys.
Oh, well, I wonder why TK and Awakening got it.
Crazy.
There's no way I have a Rapid in there. Ah, it's in there. Sweet.
It's a nice surprise.
For you. It's a bad surprise for your opponent.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate surprise for my opponent.
That's awesome. It's hilarious.
I think the games where I've locked people out are basically just like, I think my Ruin Mode Turbo lists.
Yeah, I was about to say your Ruin Mode decks.
Yeah.
I think one of the funniest ones I ever did was against Ben. This is when we gave him PTSD from Aces. He dared turn his card sideways, and I Vikemonned him. And it basically just locked him out from playing his Alliance deck for a turn. A full turn.
It's just so funny. He goes, "Why are aces a card?" And he tormented us for weeks with Mega Gargo Ace. I think the all-time best lockout is no doubt Sean with Mirage in the Palmon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was so
I'll never forget that. Like that's the all-time.
People literally came over and were asking what was happening.
It's just the fact, another thing that just like makes me crack up is that Mel just did not understand that he should have just scooped in the moment because there was no way he was ever going to be able to get to play again.
Mel let that happen for like 4 or 5 turns. And I think the only reason he did scoop is because I told him, I'm never attacking you. I'm just going to deck you out. He was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I think he was hoping I would swing and die.
Like, he's seriously sitting there hoping, like, oh, I'll have all these cards in my hand I can use.
It's like, once I get to play my turn, dude, I'm about to touch you with all these cards I have. I'm like...
It's literally the way Yugi beat the Rare Hunter to get Slifer. If you don't remember that.
I didn't watch that.
Just made him draw his deck.
Oh.
Yeah, he just forced him to continuously draw his deck permanently. Decking him out.
Yep. Hilarious interaction. Adam TCG. Don't let Sean bully you, Ben. You were right, my man. Ben is still wrong. TK shouldn't have got hit. Avocado Loco. You guys made me think, so blue draws so much, which is why that makes it good. Yellow uses a security as a second deck. I think it means hand. Purple uses trash as second. I'm just going to say hand. What would you guys do with green, red, and black to make it good, or rather a way for them to have second hand that fits with their identity? You guys mentioned deck search, which I think would be good for one of them to have to make them better, and I think scrying, MTG term. I think all of our search effects are scrying effects, actually. Would be good for them to add to a specific color. Also, I think you should test the 4 Shoutmon on channel against the current decks to see what's up. I'm surprised more channels don't do this now that we see cards can come off the restricted list, as in test old decks with restricted cards at 4 to see how it works now. Some cards don't need this test, like MDF and HPD.
God, I didn't even think about... Imagine having Mega Digimon at 4 and HPD at 4. That's toxic.
What's hilarious is I think in an unlimited format, those 2 cards don't get played.
I mean, I could see a deck like Imperial trying to take advantage. Like, imagine being able to Mega Digi into Paladin mode and then just killing them.
Yeah, but I think Imperial in unlimited format is worse Melga. Because it requires way more cards to be in your hand.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, like, Melga would just pop off.
I could Mega Digi into, like, an Omni or an Omni X or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd need to, but...
You probably wouldn't need to, but, I mean, you could play it if you felt the need. Because, like, you could Evo into Blitz Omni for free. You could activate X-Ante and Evo into X-Ante for free as well. Yeah.
Ideas.
What was the question? I already forgot. Oh, yeah, okay. The second
red,
hand.
and black?
Better cards.
That's actually probably the issue. I don't think it's the lack of second hand. I think they just need better cards.
Yeah, their cards are just bad.
I think we've talked about it. The way to make black better is to force interactions that are not good for your opponent.
Yeah.
Like, I think I just said it earlier in this episode. Like, imagine they had a card where if you promote, you have summoning sickness. Get wrecked.
Yeah, or the make them where they can't Evo. I think that one's a strong effect.
Yeah, that's a very good effect. Green, the problem is it's being so limited by cards like HPD just existing. Like, they just need to get rid of the card so we can start getting better green.
Yeah.
And the problem with red is red just plays into aces now. Like, that's why Raid War isn't, like, super good anymore.
Yeah, Raid War sucks.
Yeah, because you're forced to play into ace cards.
Yeah. You don't really have built-in removal into that deck, so you're just like, alright, swing. Cross my fingers.
Yeah. Hope for the best.
Yep. I think...
I mean...
I
sorry, go ahead.
I like what they're doing now, which is... Because they can't really... Clearly they can't think of a way to design effects like that for those colors, so what they're doing is just splitting, like mixing them with a different color that has a second hand effect. Like they're giving purple to red and black and allowing them to recycle their trash.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think purple is the most mixed color, right?
100%.
Because you have it in yellow, you have it in red, you have it in blue.
Yeah,
I can keep going. I think purple might have been mixed with every color now.
Black's up there. Black's with every color.
I think, like, if you go by most cards, though, I think purple is, like, far and away probably the... If you looked at, like, the most dual color cards, purple's probably, like, way above everybody else.
Yeah. I think black is up there.
You think so?
I mean, I definitely think so. Like, blue and black is the card. Red and black has been there. Yellow and black's been there.
We'll look up multicolor. Just
black and purple.
Without, like, doing anything. I'll tell you what I see the most of. And this is, like, actually dual color cards. I'm not going to look at, like, oh, it can Evo on top of this and this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what they're doing is probably the step in the right direction, but I do agree HPD needs to go, so Green's boss monsters all don't cost 5+ memory to go into.
Mm-hmm.
On the off chance you draw your HPD, it's free, dude.
Take all tarts out.
Other than that, though, like, I can't really think of a design of, like, second-hand effects, because, like, where else would you go?
Right. Yeah, where else is there?
Yeah. Your opponent's hand? That'd be funny.
I mean, you have stuff like Gotcha Green or the top of your deck, but that's kind of bad.
Yeah, that's true. That does require...
Imagine using your deck as a second hand, and it's just less good drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Gotcha Green actually is a good example of them doing something like that for green specifically. They kind of do it the same way that yellow uses the security, where, like, they can Evo off the top of their deck for free if they happen to reveal the right cards, and they can set it up. Yeah, that strategy is still too clunky right now, but they could potentially, like, support that to where, like, it's actually a viable strategy, which might actually be good.
I think we're incorrect about the most mixed color.
It's probably red or yellow.
It's yellow.
Okay,
I'm seeing so much yellow. Like, we forgot about Shine. Shine is half yellow.
True.
And then you have, like, blue, yellow. It's everywhere.
All right, good point. I forgot about yellow. I'm gonna guess yellow is number 1. I think purple's number 2. I'm curious if there's even a way to count that. If anyone knows or is able to compile that data, please let us know, because I'm curious.
I think you're right. It's gotta be yellow, purple.
Yeah, look at the 3 Gray Angel decks.
The Mossymon. Yeah.
Mossymon's half yellow.
That's right, because there's, like, entire archetypes that are half yellow, half something else. Like,
there's that random archetype that came in EX6 that's half yellow with, like, Gokumon.
Yeah.
Alliance is half yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Shoutmon cards. There's a lot of yellows in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, what's the next question, Sean?
J Stewart 0062. I know Bandai probably didn't want to hit Ancient too much just due to the fact that it's a recent set, but also affects future set releases, aka BT 2.0. But I'm surprised they didn't hit Mirage in some shape, way, or form, or even Luga's stupid 2-turn OTK. I guess Bandai just really likes dog Digimon.
What that dog doing?
Killing you through 5 security.
I just think Mirage has been around for so long, I'm surprised they haven't touched it.
I'm surprised they didn't give it the Jesmon treatment where they legitimately said, this deck has been meta for too long, therefore we are hitting this card. Get over it,
play something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play a different red deck, idiot. I think that's the same reason they gave for Jet Sylphie. In addition to that, I think they said it extends the games.
Future design.
Yeah. Avocado Loco. Ben, don't let them gaslight you. TK was insane. Completely broco. Made things too consistent.
Hold on. First of all, me and Brandon both agreed that TK made sense.
Shut up.
All I said was I thought that they hit the cards around Magnamon instead of just hitting Magnamon. That's all I was saying. I didn't say TK wasn't a very good card and could have gone to one. Why did they make it seem like we were gaslighting Ben like he was some victim?
The correct solution was...
Tamer. It's a 2-cost tamer in disguise.
It's a plus tamer if you have multiple.
Yeah, and then you have all this other memory gain with your Padas, with TK. Yeah, no.
With all the other unfair stuff in other colors, it is perfectly reasonable to leave TK to 4. They should have just limited Magna X. Limit Magna X. People aren't complaining about TK. I promise.
He's only saying that because of recent events.
No, I said that last week.
Nah.
Anyways, JJR Ben is 07 also commented another question.
Ben again. Another one.
This one was from a week ago. Comment question. How do you feel about all these short formats with a new set coming out pretty much once a month?
I kind of get tired of it. I'm not going to lie.
I will say well, you get tired of the short formats?
Yeah, my wallet, man. Just let me.
Yeah. I'm hoping once we're caught up, we get at least 2 months. 2.5 months.
It just seems like we're getting an EX format in between every set now.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're catching us up. I think the normal format length is 1.5 to 2 months with potential EX set in between. The 3-month formats are usually from delays.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I think it's interesting. But I do share Brandon's sentiment where like it's kind of expensive if you're trying to breathe. If you're trying to keep up, like,
yeah.
I mean, this card game is extremely cheap for the most part, but it is expensive if you're trying to build a deck like every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's meta.
Like a good example of this. I know we have some wrestling people in our our peeps.
Turn my brain off.
But AEW literally is having
zoning out.
Zoning out.
Yep, I'll just look ahead.
They literally have 2 back-to-back pay-per-views, and you have to pay $50 per pay-per-view. So if I want to watch both pay-per-views, I have to spend $100 within like a 2-week period. That's
just watch WWE, sign up for Peacock, boom, all your pay-per-views are free.
Yeah, but then I can't see Hangman versus Swerve in a steel cage.
Anyways, I agree. I think I would rather formats be a little bit longer, not like 3+ months long. That's ridiculous. But like at least 2, because it gives time for like the format to breathe a little bit
and develop.
Now, if it's bad if there is a clear dominant tier 0 deck that's just like nothing can compete against.
Yeah. But if there's like come on now.
Yeah, but if there's like multiple top decks that can compete, like 2-month formats are fine. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think it's the problem when those EX sets come out. They just like they feel like they quicken the format to being a month.
Yeah. Crimson 35124. Can we get a video demonstration of the Galaxy Loop? No, but Eagle ATX on his YouTube channel has posted, I believe, the most recent loop,
tutorial.
And then he posted a new one.
He should honestly take that down. Why are you spreading this? Just email it to Bandai.
Please,
just email it to Bandai.
Yeah, stop teaching them how to do it.
I hate to say it, but the more it gets seen, the better it is for it being hit.
Yeah, that is true.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
It's important to spread awareness. It's like cancer awareness, dude. It's literally cancer awareness. Yeah. The more people know about it, the more we can do something about it.
Yeah, the Bandai's just like, oh, this exists? We didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to start wearing pink sleeves on my deck to make people aware of the Galaxy Loop.
Okay. All right.
Shady Water 7. Ben lies about his name to different people. He's had me call him Brell since I've known him, but tells you guys to call him Ben. Do we even really know who this Sensua impersonator is?
Who is that?
That's Josh.
Who commented? I was gonna say, is that Josh? I asked him, Josh.
It's funny too, because didn't last night he say he would prefer to be called Brell, or like his something like that?
No, he said. Did he? I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We were saying something about you called him by his full legal name. You called him Benjamin.
I asked him. You guys weren't here, but I asked him the other day when we were testing, and we brought it up. I was like, "What would you prefer me call you?" Because like I'll respect it, and he was like, "Ben's fine." And I was like, "Okay, then stop complaining. It is your name." Jim the Kid. Does the new Imperial Ace from BT17 still strip from Magna X with immunity? No. It does not, because he is immune. One response to that comment, RioX1000, no, period. Yeah, Magna X is no the card. Latitude 990. People that want BT16 Uko hit truly don't understand tempo in this game. It's not a free roll. It costs you a raising phase, 1 memory, and off in your entire turn. Jack rate is fine, but because it usually takes more than 1 memory worth of effort to turn the card into 2+ memory play, every free cheap way to fill the trash has been hit to 1. Cross 4 is too good because it won Worlds like 10 sets ago before 30 waves of support for better decks. Oof. So the issue with BT16 Uko that I think you're overlooking with your argument is it doesn't actually cost you a breeding phase because you get to hatch again. So it's not like you're missing the opportunity to promote the following turn. I don't think it's good enough to get hit yet, but it could potentially see it in the future. But your argument is not valid.
Yeah, fair. Except for the Xiaomon stuff.
Well, I just mean specifically that one. Jack Raid, maybe. I mean, obviously, I don't think it's not going to get touched on the ban list because like meta decks don't play it.
Yeah. I agree with him. Like Jack Ray does take a lot. Unlike like Gravity Crush or Blinding Ray, Jack Ray does take some effort to get going. Yeah. Like that's the one I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, there technically is a cost to it. So yeah, I mean, I could understand that argument. I still disagree with people that are like, it was from 10 sets ago. It's not broken anymore because it's so old. It's not always the case. It's like people that say Doru Gray can come back to 4. It's because they literally did not experience that deck at full power. Because if
I experienced it, it can come back.
Doru Gray for Alpha.
If I'm playing it, yeah.
If you read the card, you're like, this seems like it's fine. This should come back to 4. But that's because you're not understanding exactly how the deck works and uses it and abuses it.
Yeah, it's like they forget that the Alphamon is the card that's abusing it, not that card itself. It's the card. Yeah. It's the Alphamon.
It's the Tamers.
It's the Oryukenmon.
Yeah, it's the Tamers, the Oryuken. It's like the rest of the deck is abusing that one card.
Yeah. I think Caleb is undefeated against me. The times he does just randomly bring it back, like he'll just like, I want to play Alphamon this week, and he sees that card. I'm pretty sure he is undefeated against me if he sees that card. I have not won a game against him where he sees the one of.
And that's just him seeing one, because full power Alpha would tuck multiple in the stack before they start swinging at you.
Yep. It's like one of those things where something that shows up in my YouTube recommended. Chris, you probably also see it. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh content creator called Simo.
I don't watch his stuff, but I'm familiar with that creator.
Yeah,
I know of him.
He has a series where he brings players from other card games and talks about Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them and makes them guess whether or not the card is
banned.
broken and banned.
I've seen.
And I feel like it's one of those interesting things where I think if we did that with Digimon, it would actually be very difficult to snipe whether or not a card is banned or limited, because it's usually not just the card itself, it's everything around the card, which is why it's limited and banned, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's hard to understand exactly how cards can get abused if you don't have the full picture.
If you don't have the full context. Like, if I just let you read just one card on the limited list, for example, like Doru, you could be like, oh yeah, that seems perfectly fine. There are plenty of cards that give security check +1 and protection, but then you make them read the entire combo and they're like, oh yeah, no, this card deserves to be at 1.
Yeah.
It's one of those context is king kind of situations.
Like, you could read like Mega Fusion and be like, oh, clearly this is unfair. Like, this is memory cheating. This is cheating the entire like resource system. If you kill them, there's no drawback. Yeah. But like cards like Doru and stuff, you have to understand the entire engine.
Yeah.
Like, having said that, Class 4 is not coming back.
Yeah. I could let you read Where Garu, and you could probably get to the point of, okay, yeah, this card's broken because it's double swinging and giving security check +1. But it's still possible if you don't know the context. You could be like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I know a lot of like professional Yu-Gi-Oh players have the mentality that the only life point that matters is your last life point.
That's how I feel about it, even though I no longer play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. I don't think you can have that same structure of thinking going into Digimon. You can't just sit there and think, oh, my only security that matters is my last security. Because there are so many cards in this game that just say, no. Like, Ultra B rocks up and says, your last 3 security.
I feel like decks that aren't yellow can feel that way as long as they have the ability to keep you from killing them.
Yeah.
Yellow definitely can't say that, though. All their security is important.
All your security are mine.
Yes. Damien Carr 168. I'm blown away that the Garu player didn't mention Garuru. There were 3 TO decks, there were 3 Tier 0 decks all at the same time in BT15. Anubis, Apoclymon, and Garurumon. Anubis and Garuru consistently, bold and asterisk, killed you turn 2 even before your opponent could come out of the raising, and Apoclymon just locked you out of the game. The only air quotes competitive decks other than those were stuff like RH, which is Red Hybrids, I'm assuming, who could race Anubis Garuru to also turn to you and got enough security attack +1 to swing through Apoclymon's blanket minus security attack via EX3 Magnagimons while also abusing Apoclymon Mill to warp to kill you immediately and speed up its aggression. Japan BT15 meta was a monster. I'm glad we in English didn't have to experience because I would have quit.
That's on me. I just always think of the deck post list. So I forgot to mention that, that deck was an absolute terror.
You got to play that for like a couple of weeks, didn't you?
Yeah, I got to play it from EX5 release
till BT
all the way to 2 weeks into BT15.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they didn't hit it.
Week 1 of BT15, the week after, and then it was hit.
Yeah.
And
I forgot they let us have Apocalypse for a couple weeks for no reason.
Yeah. Which nobody ever ended up playing it because nobody was going to pick up a place out of a secret rare.
Not at locals, but there were big events during those 2 weeks that Ben entered, and he was like, "Yeah, it was a mistake to enter this with something that wasn't a Pokemon." It's like, "Yeah, I just played a Pokemons, and I just lost." I was like, "That's why I didn't enter those, Ben."
Ben, what'd you enter with, Beelzemon?
He might have. I can't remember. I think he entered 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I think one may have been Yellow Vaccine. The other was probably Bills.
What are you playing? Apocalypse? What are you playing? Beelzemon? Oh, you're doing my job for me.
Yeah. The issue is...
I didn't realize you were here to help.
Yeah. Question. Would you be happy or sad if they open Nats again to let anyone join? If they do, would all of you attend?
Yes.
If I planned it out properly, yeah. Unfortunately, this year's Nats just kind of like rolled up on us where I had already like burned my vacation time and stuff. So
Nationals is not Dallas, Brandon. I think you're confusing the two.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Because like we haven't discussed Nationals because we don't even know where it's at.
Yeah, my bad. For some reason, when I heard you, it just registered as regionals. I don't know why.
Understandable. I like that they're doing it to where you have to earn an invite. It feels a little more prestigious. And it's also nice not having a 2,000 person event if they like made it open.
Right.
Me and Ben plan to attend this Nationals. It seems like it's probably going to be on the East Coast. Ideally, it's in Florida. It'd still be kind of far if it's in like Miami or Orlando or something.
I think they need to go somewhere in the middle of the.
It'd be nice, like if they just picked a place that's relatively cheap to go to and stay.
Right in the swamp.
Raleigh, North Carolina. That's not bad.
Yeah.
We just stayed there at our last vacation. It's like dead center, and the city was pretty cheap. We had a hotel room for like what, $200, something like that. How much was our hotel room? Ooh, okay, never mind. It's like $400.
Okay. So disregard everything Brandon just said.
Yeah, it was like a 2-night stay though, and it was a bougie place, I will say.
Damn liar.
All right, Ben and I are going to go to this Nationals because most likely Ben went to last Nats. I never got an invite if I remember correctly. Oh, never mind. That was open reg for Nationals. Yeah, I didn't go because it was way too expensive to travel. Ben went. He got his 2-round bye that he earned earlier that year. He actually, I don't remember. Did we say it last week that Ben officially has his invite?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and Ben both have invites, so we're probably going to go, assuming it's not in LA. I might not go again if it's in LA, but...
Does Josh not have his?
Not yet. He doesn't play in a lot of big events, or at least play them to the end.
Gotcha.
I'm sure he will go if he gets his invite.
Always nice to hear from Damien.
Damien Carr. This sounds like you were swinging with your rookie first. This is one I told you guys about.
Yeah.
If you already have combo in hand and know that's how you want to end your turn, you should actually not swing with your rookie unless you want it to die. Instead, you swing and do the warp combo, check one security effects, if any, Koro triggers draw, Ancient Garu triggers bounce, then finish whatever security battle you were doing. This way you do the same 2 checks, but one security is bounce, so you keep your rookie, and they don't get whatever effect it was.
Hey, and we never even considered this.
I never even realized, I never even thought about that interaction until he commented that, and I was like, oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm just a really bad player. That's what I thought. I was like, I never even considered this.
None of us did. Don't feel bad.
No. I was like, smart. Genius.
It's so wild to me that you're literally, so you check the security, reveal it. If it's a Digimon, before the battle even takes place, the security behind it goes to your opponent's hand. It's so weird. It's just a weird thing. Never would have anticipated that happening in our game.
Agreed.
I want to read this one. Damien Carr also. By the way, thank you for being a channel member, Damien. Assuming I'm understanding it right, it's Heluga, Soluga with a Tamarin sources, and Wargrave Metal Garu with delay on the field. Assuming that end of turn, Heluga dies, Soluga all turns and Heluga on deletion both trigger because Heluga died. You can choose to do either first. If you choose to do Heluga first and attempt to delete your opponent's level 6 and trigger the delay, then Omnimon will come out, Heluga will finish resolving, and Omnimon's Windage Evolving will be the newest trigger. Soluga already triggered earlier when Heluga first died. You would resolve Omnimon's Windage Evolving first, as is the newest trigger, and then if Soluga is still around, you can resolve its all turns. Thank you. In your face, Benjamin. You get duted on by that interaction. And Ben also read this.
Put this into simple terms. It's basically saying that you can, in fact, interrupt the combo by going into Omni with your delay option.
In that specific instance, Ben was doing a hypothetical because he was confusing it with the DP reduction rule change. And so he said, I don't know if you guys remember, but he asked that question, and I was like, I'm pretty sure my Omni would happen first. And he's like, no, I think it's this. And I said, well, I think it's this. And then Damien came in.
Ben did reply and apologize for his misunderstanding of the
That's right, Benjamin. Read it and weep. Let's see. Grim the Nightmare, 6536. Thank you for being a channel member, Grim. Still malding that there's no Imperial hit, but hey, Numemon finally getting knocked down a peg is nice. It's unfortunate.
Welcome to blue format.
Yep. Blue
I think people
format.
will soon regret that Numemon got hit.
And Magnavax. Funnily enough, if they're able to, reflect on it.
I mean, did the hybrid decks care about Numa? Yeah, actually, because you're only bouncing their lowest level, so as long as they had a level 3, you're good. The red hybrid would delete, which is bad. You don't want to do that. So they could just block, pop off, do your whole thing.
Yeah, you can also ruin mode them pretty easily in Nume.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Numa being hit actually does just propel red hybrids, or not red hybrids, the hybrids to being stronger.
Yes. Dauntless Odin's 5648 would be interested in some advice on how to pivot with Numemon after the hit. I thought about reviving the old black base with Agu and Agu X for more search to try and find the one Nume X, but I don't know if that's worth. Please let me know if you guys have any advice on that deck, if y'all care enough.
Cool boy.
Yeah, I would go back to... There were variants before that we got to this point that were playing Agumon, Agu X, and Cool Boy, and I would go back to those because that helps you dig for the 2 best cards in the deck, one of which is now at 1.
Yep. Agreed.
That is the last question.
Nice. Well...
God, how is it already this late into the day?
Today was a long one. We are approaching 4 hours from when I hit record.
This might be our longest episode. I mean, with editing.
It's going to be shorter with editing, but it's still quite long.
Alright, boys.
Alright. Great job.
Have a good day.
You too.
Yeah, see ya.